Welcome to LoganRobo's channel, broadcasting live on twitch.tv/LoganRobo and on youtube.com/@LoganRobo. Tonight's game is The Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Also, can anyone tell me if the World Cup is still going on? I need to know how much longer I need to be able to pretend I understand soccer. Thank you for tuning in to twitch.tv/LoganRobo and youtube.com/@LoganRobo. Please enjoy the stream. And we are live! How is everybody doing? Welcome! I see that we're on the Twitch side of the chat. Extempore News was here earlier with a lurk and a random Transformers tech, Chromia from Transformers 1. Chromia is a female Autobot. She's generally paired up with the good old boy Ironhide. In Transformers 1, though, I'm convinced it wasn't supposed to be here. I think it was supposed to be the Autobot Mirage, because she just featured as like the winner of this big race they had, and I think that they just wanted to add more female characters, and so they showed Mirage and they said it was Chromia, so yeah. Also, would you rather have a pet dinosaur or a pet dragon? Assuming that like I have the capacity to take care of either option, because like if not, if it's just like my place as it is now, my place getting trashed either way and it's awful. But like I would say, assuming that I can take care of the pet, a dragon, right? Because like my understanding is that generally in lore, in legend, in mythology, whatever, the dragons are highly intelligent, whereas dinosaurs aren't usually known for high intelligence. I mean, Jurassic Park is always like the velociraptors are clever girls, but most dinosaurs probably wouldn't understand. It would be like having an alligator or a crocodile as a pet. It's like they wouldn't understand that you're family. They'd probably try to eat you one day, but a dragon would probably understand and also empathize with the way that I hoard transforming action figures like plastic robot toys and things like that. Hollow Knight Gamer, how you doing? Thank you for the toilet duck. I can't remember to save yet because we haven't started, but how are you doing? Let's see. Atlantic says, hello, yellow. How you doing, Atlantic? Oak says, hey, longa. And then the whole command, how you doing, Oak? Oak says, perfect timing. I just finished making dinner. Was it chicken skewers again? I feel like when you first got here, you were all about making like, what was it? Was it steak or a hamburger or something like that? But you always had like the caramelized onions and everything. Now you're all about chicken skewers. That's a different animal altogether. Atlantic said, yes, the World Cup is indeed still going on. Oh yeah, I honestly just realized earlier, I didn't know. What happens when someone's crowned the world king of the cup? Do they rule the world? Atlantic says, or excuse me, Oak says the World Cup is soccer, either that or football. And Beep says, hello, how you doing, Beep? Good to see you in here. Let me take a look over to YouTube chat. Dermo, immediately with the message retracted. So I don't know what that was. Ba-ba-ba.
There are also tutorials for how to train dragons, but I haven't found any for dinosaurs.
There are those wonderful documentaries. I hate that they made a live-action remake of that documentary on how to train your dragon, but that is true, and they all seem smart. Toothless is basically just like Stitch from Lilo and Stitch, right? I think like it's like a cat lizard with wings and breathes lightning fire. So yeah. I concur. It'd be fun to have a dragon, right? But thank you for the 10 bits, Oak. Let's see, Dermo says, morning! Good morning, Dermo! Toshi says, morning, Dermo. How you doing? Dermo says, hi, Toshi. Doing well. Toshi says, soccer is overrated. The world loves it, so I feel like I'm the odd man out. So good to know you agree with me, Toshi. I'm not a sports guy. It's just me. Toshi says, Logan! Pet dragon is awesome. You won't need a stove or gas bill anymore. Oh, well, I mean, I guess as long as the dragon doesn't get tired of that. Like if I could breathe fire and everyone's always like, cook my food with your breath, I'd eventually feel like people only love me for how hot I am, which I'd be fine with that if people thought I was hot and loved me for that, but they don't. Atlantic says the final is Sunday. Oh, so like next Sunday? So after that, you'll no longer have to act like you understand soccer. But I think I heard the U.S. is knocked out, so it's just other countries we're rooting for now. Yeah, I don't know who's still in. Queen Katie says howdy. How you doing, Queen Katie? Sorry you were having so much like technical difficulties today with like the electricity at your place. You weren't able to stream your Hamtaro game, but good to have you here. How is everyone? How is y'all's weekend? I'm looking forward to on Tuesday. I think I'm going to be posting, I believe if my schedule stays as it is, Tuesday's the day that I should be posting the consequences of leg clip on TikTok. Then about a week later, it'll be on YouTube. Also, we'll talk about this later, but I want to let you guys know in advance. For the schedule for next week, I do have an acting gig, and it was supposed to be either Tuesday or Wednesday, and they still haven't told me when. So hopefully they'll have told me by tomorrow, so I can let you guys know whether or not we'll have a stream on Tuesday. Because I don't know. But how is everybody? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's go ahead and load up the game here. So last where we left off, Gina Lestrade was finally taking the stand to testify to explain to the court what she had done. They did allude to, or I think they flat out said it earlier in the chapter, that she apparently had told investigators what happened. Hajiba! Vero!
I'm a few days late, but I'm here to cheer up my favorite lonely man for cheer up the lonely day. I just woke up. Smiles. Love you, Longa. This is all for you.
Thank you for re-upping your sub! 47 months! You're well on your way to your I mean, a couple months in, 2 months in, to your, what will be your 6th subscription, baby. How are you, Vero? Did you see the post that I made over on the Transformers channel on Discord? It's interesting. I don't know if it's good news, but it's interesting news. But good to have you. Thank you so much for re-upping your sub. I really, really, really appreciate that. Thank you. And good to see you, as always, Vera. Whenever you're not here, the miss command just like ticks up. But okay, so like I was saying, last time, Gina Lestrade finally took the stand and is kind of giving her side of the story. She's basically admitting that she perjured herself in the Magnus McGilded case, which I do feel like is like, she told us anyway that he had threatened her. And I feel like if you perjure yourself because like someone's threatening you, it's like signing a contract under duress. You know, it's like, I feel like you shouldn't be held as legally liable for that. But she's still being a brave little trooper and doing that. But her testimony was like all true. But Gregson and Graydon were like whispering stuff, little secrets behind her back. And so I think we're pursuing them. And I think they're still whispering, and then we're just cutting over here to Van Zeeks, if I remember correctly. So we still don't know what they're whispering about, but we're going to find out. But first, I want to read one or two more really quick comments. Beep says, Dragon is kind of dino, but Dragon fire. That's right. It's like you're getting a dinosaur, but also wings and fire. Queen said, just finished checking out Escape Simulator. Wait, what? Escape Simulator? For the first time, lol. Literally finished a tutorial when you went live. I didn't know there was an escape simulator. Is it like an escape room? Or is it just like escape from, like, oh crap, what was that? I remember a long time ago when it was, there was like a Temple Run. That's what it was. I was trying to think it was like an app game where you're like trying to run away from a gorilla or something, I think. It's been a long time. There's Hollow Knight Gamer saying, hello, Logan, and all caps, how you doing, Hollow Knight? Beep says, dinos are like birds, bird brains. Oh crap, I accidentally went ahead again. The same thing happened last time. It's like if I mouse over on certain things that I'll just go ahead and reload so I can read what he said without consulting the history page. That tells me I need to actually play the game. But first I'll look over on YouTube. Oh, Valtube and Taco are both here. Valtube saying, hi, how you doing, Valtube? And Taco saying, I'm back from the beach, but I'm at the hospital right now, so I won't be staying all, I'm sorry, Taco. But thank you for popping. I hope the rest of your beach vacation was fun. I could use a beach vacation. But then I'd have to be the one guy at the beach with my shirt on, and that would be weird. Like, people would be like, why is that guy not taking his shirt off? And I'm like, because I am a gross human being. It would appear on the night 2 months ago, a negotiation was taking place on the omnibus. Oh, that's right. So what Gina had said was that she overheard McGilded and Mason, or Mulverton, or whatever his last name is, we now found out, were discussing something about like getting paid or whatever. I think it sounds like that he was probably selling the music disc that has some secret message on it to McGilded. I assume a secret message. It's a secret message. A negotiation concerning this disc, however, matters did not run smoothly. When the parties involved began to quarrel over price, McGilded took what he wanted by force, at the expense of the other man's life. Yes! Yeah, you're right, Van Zeeks. Huh?
We're about to get to the final page of this case's guide, by the way. Are we finishing the game tonight? No, but we're getting somewhere this week though.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe I'll just whiz through it. Maybe I'll just suddenly forget how to read chat and forget how to read the game and just like hammer the space bar and guess on things. You guys don't know. I might ruin the entire rest of the game here. But thank you very much, Queen Katie! So I assume we'll see a to be continued when it happens, but I'm excited. Okay, I want to say this though real quick. I don't know how I feel about Ashley Graydon as like the villain of this. I feel like the last couple of games we've done, the villain has been like a real big deal villain. Like in Spirit of Justice, I guess I'll avoid saying who the villain is. But Spirit of Justice, this is a character who was kind of lurking and ever present and was there and super powerful. And like, how do we defeat her? And in Dual Destinies, it was like, oh my gosh, it was this guy all along. And it's like, how can we stop this guy? And it was like so big. This one is just like, yeah, this guy who showed up this morning and he's a jerk and he moves weird. And, yeah, like he doesn't, maybe we just need to see more of him. Maybe he's not even really the villain. Maybe he's whispering with Gregson because he's like an undercover cop. Well, no, because Gregson tried to arrest him and he spun away, so never mind. Which proves my point. The disc is clearly extremely valuable in some way. Although I don't understand why as yet. And 2 days ago, precisely 2 months after the omnibus incident, McGilded's coat and its contents were due to be forfeited. I didn't know what I should do with the ticket. I do hope Van Zeeks can tell that we're honestly trying to get to the truth. He really does seem to resent us for the McGilded case, and kind of understandably so. I mean, the cove died right after his trial. I knew that. So, you decided you would try to claim the articles as your own. Well, why not, eh? They were only going to be forfeited. Why should I not have them? Well, I've got them. Anyway, you can't blame me for thinking about it. Thinking ain't no crime. Don't blame me for thinking it. Well, and I did try to do it. But it's attempted things on a crime. And then I showed up with a gun and broke into the place. Are those crimes? Miss Lestrade, it would appear Mr. McGilded was prepared to kill in order to take possession of this disc. Not just prepared, he did. Do you know why that would be? I got a clue. But I reckon it must be worth a fair bit of brass. He was probably going to sell it. And you can't blame me for thinking that. Thinking ain't no crime unless it's 1984, but it's not 1984 yet. But then it'll stop being a crime in 1985. I've never read George Orwell, hey. You should read George Orwell. It's good stuff. Oh, wait, who's talking? Who's declaring that? Oh, my lord, the evidence your lordship requested has been located and is ready for the court's inspection, sir. Huh? How did he get here? Now I'm back. Where'd he go? He was here a second ago. Did I turn into him? What happened? I'm confused too. The mysterious little box. Oh, yeah, that's the evidence. Deposited by McGilded 2 months ago. I'm so happy. I guessed right which box it was. Oh, and the music's like slowly fading in. There's no doubt in my mind that it's a key piece in this far-reaching puzzle. This far-reaching Vero. To be continued. Okay, 15 minutes and 7 seconds. That's the stream. That is. Hope everybody had fun. I mean, it's a good pausing point. Save my poggers. Yes, save my poggers. Save. Save my poggers. I still think. Oh, and there's the box. So it might just be empty, that whatever was valuable in it or was needed is just taken. So this is the article in question, is it? I'm going to read some more in the chat while we slowly rotate around this box. I want to see how far it rotates. I want to see if we get to see the back of the box. Let's see. Queen Katie said, also, for some reason, the achievement popped up on my PC just now when it did on my Xbox. And I got off it to come here. I don't know how Xbox stuff works. I've never had an Xbox. Let's see. Beep says they throw a boogie bomb and Mr. Beast does a backflip. Hollow Knight says I would also like to be known as Grim or Grim Vessel because that is my YouTube stuff, but it won't let me change it on Twitch. Wait, no, you can't change your Twitch user? Oh, I think you can only do it like every so often, like you have to wait 2 weeks or a month or something. Beep says I kind of care about sports unless there's wheels related in some way. Also basketball. So what if it's like Paralympics soccer? Like they're all in wheelchairs. Then is that allowed? Atlantic or like you could do like polo, but instead of horses, maybe you're on like motorcycles, but on the soccer field. Atlantic says the final could be France or Spain versus English or Argentina. The semifinals are Tuesday and Wednesday, I believe, so we'll know our finalists after those games. I'm glad you know, because I had no clue on any of that. And then Beep says, run it, boy! Quick says, Vero! Vero says, good morning! Oak says, Vero! Hollow Knight says, hi, Vero! Quick says to Vero, did you get my Discord pings? I went all out, lol! And Vero said, I didn't check Discord yet, yawn. But I will soon. Okay, take your time. You're just waking up. It's all good. Let me take a look over to YouTube chat. Taco says, I'm having really bad health issues right now, but I'm just better, so I'll be fine. Okay, so you are getting better, so that's good, because I know you've talked a little bit about your health issues, so I hope you're doing well. And Taco says, because I'm Taco. Toshi says, glad you're here, Taco. Hope you can feel better soon. Derma says, wouldn't make it the shortest Logan stream /HJ. It's Pandora's box or diabolical box for US for some reason. Wait, I've never heard it called a diabolical box. Is that like the whole thing where it's like you can't say the Philosopher's Stone, you have to say Sorcerer's Stone because Americans are stupid? A diabolical box? Or was that like a change for like a Yu-Gi-Oh card or something? Did they have something like with Pandora's box? Because I know sometimes they'll go like, kids are dumb in America. I've always heard it as Pandora's box. Dermot says, so long as England loses, I'm content. I'm sick of British Miku. Oh yeah, because that was the thing I didn't realize. I saw that Nora was complaining on Discord that England has Miku right now. That I guess she hops around to winners or something like that, but she doesn't talk to British people. That's a meme, I guess. I looked up a video and she shot a British person, so I didn't know that Miku had that in her. Okay, let's play some more. So this is the article in question, is it? The small box deposited with the pawnbroker by Mr. McGilded 2 months ago. And on the night of Mr. Windybank's murder, the only item on the shelves that was touched by whoever broke into the shop. Quick, let's open it and see what's inside! Oh, it's not even locked. Oh crap, don't be a stereoscope. Oh no, it's a music box. Good gracious! This is no ordinary box, it seems. It has contents! Huh? Wow! Stuff can be in boxes? I thought it would be a cat who was alive and dead. Although in truth, I had an inkling it might be the case. It would appear that the box houses a miniature music box movement. Oh. Then is it too much to expect? Okay, so we're finally gonna play, but here's the thing, we're gonna play it, and it's gonna be all Morse code. It's gonna be beeps and dashes and stuff. We're gonna have to listen to juror number 5 to figure out what it means, right? Because like Ashley Graydon's not gonna tell us, but he'll understand it because he's a communications guy. I still have my back pocket theory that Ashley Graydon is, because the name Ashley is secretly a lady. Specifically, Karua from the 100 Line, Last Defense Academy, that he just hides it under his white coat. Because that's what you do with white coats, you hide your Karua-ness. I think it would be reasonable to assume that it is a device for the playback of this disc, my lord. Have a play it, just play it. Why are we wasting time? So here we have it. Oh, yeah.
Funny story regarding the storm that took out my power and internet. I think it's cause me and my Discord server manifested for my stream tonight so hard we summoned Susano no Mikado, god of storms, and he said I'm here. Bam, no power. Did I do good?
I hope he said it with that exact intonation. I'm here. Bam, no power. Did I do good? Well, that's why apparently you shouldn't manifest things online. Because then it happens for reals. It happens for real. FR. But I'm glad it's back up, and it's back up in time for the stream. I am sorry that you weren't able to do your Hamtaro stream, but I mean, Hamtaro will always be there waiting for you. I did notice one time I popped in, it seemed like you're just trying to like it's Ham Heartbreak, right? That you're trying to like pair up the various hamsters together. Because there was one that was like Oxnard, and he was getting together with some lady hamster or something like that. Which I know that Oxnard, the city in California, is named after like a person, I believe, but it still sounds like you're talking about an ox's nards, which is gross. And so there's a hamster with ox nards. I can see why the ladies like him. Thank you for the 10 bits, Queen Katie. So here we have the means to play back Mr. McGilded's disc, deposited in Winnie Banks at much the same time. Not strictly correct, my lord. It was not McGilded's disc. It was the disc of his victim in the omnibus. Yeah, but it said for McGilded. You know what I'm talking about. Why do you gotta correct me? Why, for heaven's sake? Are we to understand that the brickmaker was trying to sell this music box disc to Mr. McGilded? And how did like Graydon know about it? I mean, blonde people are all related, but doesn't mean they're close. I believe the answer will become clear if we listen to the music disc, my lord. Oh, yes, very well. Let the court now listen to this curious disc at last. Okay. Y'all ready? I think it's just going to be either obvious Morse code or something that's like a stand-in for Morse code, like a couple of notes going back and forth, and they won't immediately realize it. But yeah, we're going to end up having to talk to the juror number 5, who's on the telegraph.
Hold it!
Whoa! Why, Gregson? Wait, my lord! Oh, so it is secrets. It is government secrets. And that's why Gregson wants to prevent it from being... Okay, so... Wow, Gregson, way to disc block us. I gotta read some more comments in the chat. Let's see. Hollow Knight says, hello, Oak! Queen said, basically, send you a Macbeth book rec plus updated spreadsheets. Oh, I also posted a couple of Shakespeare recs in the Discord for you, Vero. I wanted to like find a good Macbeth one, but I feel like I don't know of any good Macbeth movies. I know that in the past, some of them have been troubled productions and that have helped contribute to the superstition surrounding Macbeth. Hollow Knight says, hello, Queen Katie. Vera said, thank you, my goat Katie for real. Quickita says, it's a series of escape rooms. You can do either solo or co-op. It came on Game Pass, so I decided to check it out. That sounds fun. Vera said, Hollow Knight, hello. Oak said, I finished my chicken skewers. I knew it! I knew it was chicken skewers again! Or unless you're saying you finished them already and you cooked something else tonight. Hollow Knight says, nice. Oak said, yeah, every month or so I swap between foods that I eat constantly. Over on YouTube, let's see. Durma says, that's Professor Layton. Pandora's Box in Europe, Diabolical Box in Europe. Oh, yeah, I've seen the title of that before, so that's why it's called that. It's supposed to be Pandora's Box. They changed it. Translation team must have thought it was too highbrow a reference for Americans to get. I really hate when that type of thing happens. There's a Vero might remember this. I can't remember if I vented about this specific detail in the Discord, but the IDW comics for Transformers, they did a mini series all about Bumblebee, and Bumblebee's great and everything, but I feel like that mini series was my most disliked miniseries of Transformers comic books from a certain era, and part of it, like one of the little details, is that they would do naming conventions that were just so assuming that you're dumb, because like you know the tale of the Gordian knot. For example, it was this big knot that you're not supposed to be able to untie. It's too complex, can't untie it. And then someone, I believe it was Alexander the Great, but I could be wrong, was going to solve the Gordian knot. It's like, he'll never be able to untie this knot. It's like this huge knot. It's so tangled, no one could ever untie this. And so Alexander the Great goes out and pulls out a sword and slices it in half. And it's like, there, not solved. And so like every one of the 4 issues was named after one of these like mythological concepts. But they thought kids would be dumb. So instead of the Gordian knot, they call it the impossible knot. But it like wasn't even a story about a knot. It was metaphorical anyway, so why not just call it the thing that is metaphorical? If kids don't know it, they'll look it up. We have the internet. Okay, let's keep going. Wait, my lord! Good grief, what's the meaning of this, Inspector? A music box in the disco room. They're unrelated to the case. No need to spoil the somber atmosphere in the courtroom with some silly bit of music.
Objection!
Objection! Ha! Wee-ba!
I'm sorry, Logan. I know that many Bumblebee series sucked, but calling it the worst when other much worse things exist is wowzers. The impossible not ended up becoming a funny meme to me. LOL.
Okay, here's like very, very concisely why I think it's because it set out to do a very specific thing. It was designed to target a younger audience because like it wanted to be like a mini series that younger kids could get into and reading. But it failed in every way. The story was uninteresting. The art was muddy and not dynamic, and the covers didn't even correspond to the right issues. They put them on the wrong ones. The titles were bad. The character designs were inconsistent with everything else. Like everything it tried to accomplish, it failed. Yes, other stuff like Heart of Darkness were bad, but the Bumblebee, like it's like playing darts. And if everybody's going for a different thing and somebody like was way off and it was terrible, but wasn't really aiming, whereas someone who was aiming and is also way off, it's like, well, that's the worst. But that's my opinion. But thank you for the 10 bits there. I'm glad you remembered. So let's keep going though. This disc may very well have motivated the culprit in this case to commit murder. Clearly, there's every chance that it's fundamentally important to understanding what happened. But again, yeah, I wonder if Graydon is working for the government to retrieve it then. And maybe the reason why Gregson tried to capture him is because he didn't know that he was like a government agent. But did he still kill Windy Bay? Because like if he didn't, and if the Skulkin brothers didn't, then who else does that leave? Susato? Strongheart? The prosecution has no objection. But no, that piece of evidence is police property. I didn't finish me line. Didn't even see what he said. I'm gonna check the history, you stupid vampire. You can't. Don't like saying that with a British accent. Sounds almost like I'm saying a swear. Clearly, Scotland Yard has some vested interest here. But it is policy of this prosecutor to leave no avenues unexplored. Couldn't we, if Gregson is worried, like this is for real. If Gregson is worried about whatever secrets are contained in there getting out, could we not just say, hey, Judge, can we call a recess? Can we, the prosecution and the defense attorney, meet with you in your chambers to listen to the disc in there all together so we can see what it is? So if it does have like state secrets, it's confined to that room and confidentiality and they don't get leaked out. But we can at least confirm what it actually is. And then we can come back and say, it contains government secrets. And then we don't say what the secrets are. And you, Inspector, have no jurisdiction here to prevent that from happening. Oh, me chips! Oh, I spilled me chips! Oh, no further delays. Please play the disc now! 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, it still says for me gilded on. Oh. See, it's Morse code! I called it! It's Morse code! I don't know Morse code. Is this real Morse code? Anybody in the chat fluent in Morse? Are you from Morseland or wherever, people are who speak Morse? I assume it's people named Morris. Okay, we're almost all the way around. We got to finish the rest of this message. It doesn't quite make sense why there are so many dimples on it, like all over the place, when really just like two rows ought to be able to do enough of this. Okay, we're almost back around to the start. But dude, I totally called this. Huh, you at?
Logan, I knew it. It's Morse code. I don't know Morse code. Is this real Morse code?
Okay, here's the thing though. Like, I don't speak many foreign languages, but like if someone came in here and started speaking Russian, I'd be like, oh, he's speaking Russian. He might be speaking gibberish in Russian, but it's still like Russian, Someone starts speaking French, it's like, okay, that's French. You can tell, yeah, it's just like, I don't speak, I don't know it. But it's like, that is more, because it's dots and dashes. And that's what that is, that's dots and dashes. But that's still fair. It's useless to me, unless, but like, again, we're gonna check with juror number 5, and we're gonna figure this out, so yay. What on earth? I can't dance to this. Well, I can. Here, I'll try. You know, I'm getting used to this. I actually like it. Hey, you know what? I'm adding this to my playlist. That's certainly not what I would call music. No. It's just the same note playing over and over again in an irregular sequence. Oh. The secrets are mine! Oh, I know it! Hey, Mr. Graydon! This really is priceless. Oh. After all that, the music box is broken. Okay, he's pretending that he doesn't get it, right? Because he's a communications officer. He would understand Morse code. Broken? It can't be, can it? Unless there is more to it than just Morse code. Maybe it would open the night before they played it and listened to it and got the message. And then messed with it so that the Morse code wouldn't come in clearly?
Well, obviously. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if the officer sent to fetch it didn't drop it on the way back to the courtroom.
Well, with much regret. I feel the court must accept that this music box offers little in the way of clues. Is juror number 5 not going to speak up? Are you ready to move on, counsel? No! Come on! Yes, all right, it does sound as though it's completely broken, but is it? Could this music emanating from the music box possibly be a new clue? Question mark. Yeah, it could be a clue. I'm going to save anyway in case the game's going to be mean. Because obviously it is, but people say, like, you shouldn't think it is yet. You should think it's not a clue. You should be dumb. You should assume that the blood on the calendar is Herlock's blood, even though they had no exit wound. It could be a clue. Because it has a little blue paw print on it. I just need to sit in my thinking chair and sketch it out. I believe that it could be relevant, my lord. What? But how can that be? It's an abomination, counsel! Mere noise! I don't understand foreign languages either. I just assume people are trying to speak in other countries. I fail to see how it can have any meaning whatsoever. Man, my judge voice is really cracking tonight. I apologize. It does sound strange, I agree, but there's one thing bothering me. While Graydon stands there chortling victoriously, the inspector beside him has a rather telling expression on his face. Well, I'm gonna see what the chat is thinking. It's as if Gregson recognizes the sound, as if he's familiar with it somehow. Deba?
Real quick, in looking at the guide, make sure you've examined everything you have. Okay, that's all I'll say right now till a potato is needed, Tilda.
Thank you, Queen Katie. Okay, let's, well, you know, I'll check some chat first, and then we'll look at everything in our court record and make sure. I think I've been pretty thorough. There have been a couple of things we've examined that haven't really shown us very much, but maybe like new stuff is unlocked now. But thank you very much for the 10 bits, Queen Katie. Veer says, speaking of food, I had awful service for a while and made homemade croissants for the first time. How'd they turn out? Like, I've had like homemade like Pillsbury crescent rolls, but they're not really croissant. How are your homemade croissants? Atlantic says, anyway, I'm rewatching My Hero Academia season 7 and 8 right now, so gonna be listening and not really watching, so I guess half lurk. Thank you, Lurk Atlantic. I still need to watch the final season of that. Veer says, I gotta show it off on the Discord, please do. Hollow Knight says, hi, Streamlabs. Oak says, I immediately started rewatching House as soon as I finished it because I needed more, and there are no more shows like House. There are other medical dramas, but none of them are good enough. Have you considered watching other Hugh Laurie shows? He's like hilarious with his British comedies from when he was younger. Queen Kitty with the timestamp, 12 minutes, 59 seconds. Okay, yeah, look at that. I'm just a little over 20 minutes behind is all. Hollow Knight says, hello, and Oak says, lurk, silking my song. I don't know, this is possibly scandalous, but enjoy. Let me take a look over the YouTube chat. Valtube says, the Great Ace Attorney's story is like that meme that says, the government would never do that. Oh, of course they would. This is giving me flashbacks to the first case when Hosanaga like instructed the witnesses to lie under oath and all that stuff. It was like a small scale government cover up. And now Gregson's kind of doing the same thing. And I think that's because I think Gregson at the end of the day does have good intentions. I don't think he's doing anything criminal, but I think it's that he's trying to like protect government secrets. But because he was whispering with Graydon about it, that does make me wonder if Graydon is like actually a bad guy. But again, if he isn't, then who murdered Windybank? I do still think it's possible that Iris's cat door gun was stolen by somebody, but there still would have had to be somebody to make use of that to shoot Windybank. Someone tiny? I don't know, unless they shot up where, I don't know. Although according to Gina, like the door was open when he was shot, so you wouldn't even need that. I'm very confused by this whole thing. Derma says, Logan, that's what they do in reality. This is AA. Lose those notions. I know, it's just, I need to accept that this is a horrible dystopian nightmare where common sense and justice don't apply. And Derma says, even if there were people fluid in Morris, it's way too slow to hear. And Derma says, nah, the ratios sound kind of whack. It's meant to be 1:3:9 time ratio, dots, dashes, and breaks. Well, I mean, but like the rhythm that they were coming, it could be like that the dot comes in sooner and okay, so maybe it was supposed to be 2 beeps instead of 1 over and over again. We were only hearing the dots instead of the dots and the dashes, or vice versa. So maybe something is broken, but we shall see. We shall see. And maybe Gregson instructed the officers to damage it, or maybe when Graydon listened to it the previous night at the pawnbrokeries, he broke it afterward. But we could probably fix it. I think maybe. Adora says, it's an abomination. I'm imagining him missing the groove on a vinyl, getting random popping and freaking out. Like the 80s where people freaked out over backwards audio, but they tell you to like worship the devil and stuff like that, right? Okay, so Queen Katie wanted us to look in our court record to make sure that we have examined everything. So we can examine our armband, which we already did. We saw that Kazuma's name is in there, Kazuma Asogi. But there's like nothing new to examine there. And so I assume it's not going to be that pawnbroker's ticket, and we did examine that. I think that was just to demonstrate how stereoscopes work, and that's just text. So I won't click on things if it seems a bit too obvious what it could be. Gina's representation papers. I don't see how that'll be relevant anytime soon again. And the blood samples portfolio. Nothing to click, but we got Ashley Graydon's blood on there. Thrice fired Mason... Was it Milverton or Mulverton? It was something like that. Is a purple. Pop Windybank is blue. And back into Ashley Graydon being green. We got pawnbroker's ticket for the coat. And yeah, so we established that is Mason Milverton's blood. Iris's story manuscript. This we tried to examine, but couldn't really see anything. So let's see if we can get anything better here. Let's try this one again. The Hound of the Baskervilles. That's right, I used Daddy's notes to write it. I think it's a great story. I don't know why Hurley's forbidden me to publish it. No, it's strange, isn't it? Perhaps it's a problem with the title? Perhaps Mr. Sholmes is a family friend of someone who has that name or something. Why would he know someone named Hound? Hound of? Mr. Hound of? Well, it doesn't have quite the same ring to it, but I could change it to the Hound of the Naruhodos. I'm fairly sure that Mr. Sholmes is a friend of someone who has that name too. I hope he's my friend. Okay. And then, yeah, we couldn't sign her, click her name. So, yeah, nothing there. It also might be that maybe we can't click it until we get closer to whatever it is that we're supposed to examine. Gilded's case notes, maybe there'll be a clue in here. Victim found deceased on the last scheduled omnibus on the day after the stab, of the day after a stab wound to the abdomen. Details the victim, Mason Milverton, male. Mason Milverton, male. Occupation brickmaker, domicile east end of London. Oh, that's where Gina lives, so he could be her dad. Trial summary, Magnus McGilded, Lord Baruch van Zeeks, Rionosuke Naruhodo. Conviction was assured with 3 eyewitness testimonies. However, a surprise 4th witness testimony resulted in acquittal due to insufficient evidence. Can't really click on anything. Today's paper, and we had clicked that before, and we got that there was the state secrets being sold, and that kind of changed the whole newspaper thing. So I don't know if there's anything new there. Autopsy report by Scotland Yard coroner, Pop Witty Bank, blah, 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 blah. Single bullet wound to the upper half of the victim's back, no other visible signs of trauma, instant death from a bullet wound to the heart. The bullet entered the body in the back on a gently rising diagonal trajectory. Crime scene photograph, that's just, Witty Bank. Crime scene floor plan, that's just, showing where they are. Now, these were the things that we weren't able to get too much extra stuff. I think we were able to get some things from this to realize there was only one bullet, but we didn't get really much extra from the Skulkin brothers gun. So let's see if there's anything new here, maybe? So there's ammunition still loaded in 5 of this revolver's 6 cylinders. Yeah, which tell us that only a single bullet has been fired from it. Exactly, because no one has ever reloaded a gun. The bullet that hit Hurley, in fact, isn't it? Yes, well, his pouch. It happened almost as soon as we'd walked through Windy Bank's door. So this sounds like it's the same thing as before. I'll make those brothers pay his medical bills. He doesn't have insurance. We can't click anything here. Same with that other photograph, I assume. Stereoscope, all the clicking that does is really just open it, yeah. Music box disc. Is there anything else besides the McGilded note that we can click? We can't click on these things, just the blood. Most of these bumps, are just going to waste if it's only going to be using 1 or 2 tracks. Sholmes' pouch, we already examined this thoroughly and found the bullet in there. And then the 3rd bullet. Yeah, we looked at this, and I don't think there was anything new. We'll click it again. This is the bullet that was fired from the Skulkin brothers' gun on the night of the incident. Yeah, so it turns out it never actually entered Hurley's body at all. Thanks to the thick leather of that pouch he was wearing, it saved him. Hurley's always lucky like that. Well, considering what we had to go through in hospital, wonder how lucky he really was. Oh dear, poor Hurley. Okay, so I'm gonna assume for the moment that whatever I needed to investigate was already clicked. But I might come back again, I guess, huh?
All right, you're good to go.
Oh.
Just wanted to make sure you got it all, cause I wasn't sure if you did it before or not.
Okay,
Time spooky.
okay.
Now I shall just sit here with Potato, but I have much faith in you. Go Logan Robo, go.
Go, Logan Robo, go, 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 go. I like that. I want that to be our new chant, our new cheer. Thank you, Queen Katie, for the 10 bits, because I'm assuming that whatever it is that I'm gonna need to present soon or know about, you obviously can't say that because I would give it away, but you had to check to see if I did. So I appreciate that. Thank you for the 10 bits. So I assume we can continue now. It's as if Gregson recognizes the sound, as if he's familiar with it somehow. And that's making him appear extremely on edge. If that's the stance of the defense, my Japanese friend, answer me this. Just what relevance do you propose this woeful chiming has on the case? It's the defense's belief that the sound emanating from the music box is broken. An unusual genre of music. Not supposed to be music. I'm going to save just in case it actually is broken. Like I said, maybe we're missing one of the tracks on the Morse code thing. And because I do think the timing is still able to do the dots and dashes. It's just the spacing of them more than how long it's held out, if that makes any kind of sense. So I'll say not supposed to be music. Just because this is a music box, it doesn't necessarily mean the sounds we're hearing are music. Oh! Look at that. The smile vanished from Graydon's lips as soon as I said it. I'm on the right lines here. I must be. The right lines indeed. Making deductions based on how people react to what you say. You're acting just like Hurley, Runo! Objection! Objection! He's better than me. The sounds we're hearing aren't necessarily music. Well, now that you've told us what they are not, I am sure the court would like to hear what they are. Do enlighten us, my Japanese friend. It's not Japanese, it's Japanese. I don't know why you can't just say Van Zeeks. You can tell, I know what it is. Let's see you catch up to me for once. What do you think it is? Well, surely you have an idea in mind, because if not, it will be the death of your ill-formed argument.
Exactly. The music box is clearly broken. Refusing to accept that fact is pure foolishness.
They've got me. I don't know what the answer is yet. Bruno? Huh? I've just examined the music box very thoroughly. And I'm fairly certain that it's not broken at all. Really? Really? When it's been made, it can only produce a single note anyway. Thank you, Iris. All right, well, if the music box isn't broken, then how am I dancing to this? It must mean that the sounds it's producing have some significance that isn't musical. If only I knew of the existence of things other than music. Lord Shiro! Raided with a party of 4! Welcome, Lord Shiro! Vera, are you still at your computer? Would you be so kind as to do a quick shout out for Lord Shiro? How was your stream? What were you playing? Oh, hey! Look at that. I do need to go ahead because it looks like that's a later, possibly a later trial thing. I don't want it to be spoilers for any type of stuff. But welcome! How was your stream tonight, Lord Shiro? Oh, you were playing some 100 Line Last Defense Academy. Good to see that you had played Danganronpa in the past. Yeah, so I guess I want to ask like what ending you're working toward, but I guess that would be a spoiler for me. But welcome, Raiders, coming in with Lord Shiro's 100 Line Last Defense Academy. We did play that not too long ago on stream. It was very fun. So welcome, I'm Logan. We stream Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Sundays. We are currently alternating between this, Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, and Deltarune Chapter 5. Other games we played in the past include Danganronpa, Persona, Omori, what else? 100 Line Last Defense Academy, Metaphor Refantasio, things like that. And I read every comment in chat. I'm always a bit behind. I'll scroll down to where the raid happens so I can read any comments you guys might be saying. But before I do that, let me also post our link tree into the chat. I'll cross-post this over to YouTube as well since we multi-stream. This has all of our social media, including a Discord invite, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, all that stuff. You can check it out or ignore it. Up to you. So let me go down to where the raid happened. And we got Lord Shiro saying, terrorize the village, terrorize the village. What is that? What is that emote there that you got? And then, well, yeah, that was Lord Shiro saying it, terrorize the village. Scroll down a bit, says 100 Line Chaos. Kuita says, have you got any more endings since we last chatted? Shiro says, 86 out of 100 now. I'll be off streaming that Takemaru section tomorrow. I am still very curious as to what it entails. I should do that off stream on my own at some time. I also just wonder, is this going to make me uncomfy? Because I'm very repressed about that type of thing. Vera says, Logan also played Raincode. Oh, yeah, Master Detective Archives Raincode. I just saw, recently a post where they're like, all right, we're releasing the final DLC update to finally, complete it. It's like, it wasn't complete. I did the whole story. I know they had DLC with extra adventures, but apparently, the game wasn't done yet. I don't know. So I enjoyed what we played. And Vera said, Quiggita says, salute, good luck. Lord Shiro says, poggers. Just like good old Charles Entertainment Cheese says. Says, I have a good idea based on spoiler images I have seen. I mean, I have a vague idea just based on the context of what people said it would be unstreamable for. But how was your 100 Line chaos and everything? I hope you had fun. Hope everyone had fun. If anyone who's coming with the raid, including you raiding, feels the need to take off, if you're like, oh, I'm so tired, I just watched the stream, or it's like, oh, well, I'm not interested in Ace Attorney, I just wanted to watch 100 Line Last Defense Academy. Totally understandable, but we'd love to have you stick around. I always love meeting new people, hanging out. I'm gonna have a sip of water. I'll read a couple of comments to the chat. Well, actually, I probably should scroll back up to where I was in just a moment, but then we'll get back in the game. Hang on one second. There we go. Oh, and Lord Shiro says, the route, just finished was rough. I get the feeling that there's going to be a lot of endings that are just not happy, at the very least, I should say. Let me take a look over YouTube chat real quick. Toshi says, people still freak out over hidden messages and backwards audio. Derma says, dang, 1920s music box prog goes kind of hard, /J. And then Derma says, it will make you uncomfortable, just not for repression reasons. Well, because I just hear it's very lewd. And so it's like that type of stuff. I don't know. We shall see. I will report back to y'all at some point after I do it. And then Lord Shiro says, I just got 13/14 for those that know the routes. Well, I'm going to scroll back up to where I left off in the chat, but thank you again very much, Lord Cheryl, for the raid. I really, really appreciate that. And I'm glad it sounds like that, even if the route was rough, that hopefully your stream went well. Okay, let's get back into this now. Ah! Could it be? Is that what these sounds are? Something's just struck me, Runo. I feel like recently, like in the past few hours even, someone, maybe in the jury, in the 5th seat, who's hammering away at a telegram, told us about things. I've heard another sound very much like the one on the one this music box makes. Yes, it's a familiar sound. Actually, Iris, I was just thinking exactly the same thing. What is it? I'm gonna have to press the defense for an answer. If your assertion that the sound produced by this music box is not in fact music at all, then what the devil is it, counsel? All the evidence we've seen so far, all the testimony we've heard, it's all pointing to one single answer now. The prosecution demands that my learned Japanese friend presents proof now. Tangible proof of the latest wild speculation. Okay, so if I have to present proof, I'm guessing, unless it lets me point to a juror, I'll present maybe the newspaper to say, like, state secrets are being leaked. All right, then. This could be the best chance I'm going to get to fight back in this trial. And if I'm right, it's going to join all the dots together. And if I'm wrong, I'll lose some hit points. So I better save. Save my poggers. Yes, save my poggers. The evidence that explains the true nature of the sounds on this music box disc is... I'm going to double check to make sure there's nothing else that mentions Morse code, because armband, pawnbroker's ticket, Gina's representation papers, blood samples portfolio, pawnbroker's ticket for the coat, Iris's story manuscript, McGilded case notes, today's paper, probably that, autopsy report, crime scene photograph, floor plan, the 2 guns, photograph of Gina, post-shooting photograph, stereoscope, music box disc. Yeah, okay, so it's gonna be the newspaper, yeah? I believe. I just saved, so let's try it. Present!
Take that!
Today's paper, counsel! The headline is, Pawnbroker Perishes in Pick Purse Plunder. Hardly supportive of your case, but I appreciate the alliteration. I like to pop my peas. Yeah, no, my lord! I was hoping you'd look a little further down the page. Further down? Ministry mole? Classified secrets may have been leaked overseas from Ministry of Justice? Why is that not a bigger headline than a pawnbroker dying? Yes, this is a very serious matter, being investigated at the highest level, I understand. I have heard that the international transmissions along supposedly secure lines are somehow being intercepted and leaked to various other countries. And presumably, those transmissions are in the form of wired telegrams. Of course. Oh, we got a pin message. Hang on. A pin message has appeared on Twitch, written by Queen Katie Pin by Vera, said, please pin. Yup, it was the paper. I happened to have been looking away the first time you looked at it, so I want to make sure you definitely got it updated for this law. Yeah, we looked at, I think it was pretty much right away, and saw the other article, and then it like got updated. It's like, oh, okay. I guess that's gonna be important later. Kind of foreshadowed things, made this a little bit more obvious. But thank you very much for the pin message. I will read some more of the chat soon. I miss you guys already in the chat, but I need to keep playing. I'm in the chat so much. I gotta share you chat with the game. Of course. Oh crap! I clicked out of the game. Oh, that's trying to click into the stream. There we go. Juror number 5, your input, please. Oh, stop. Oh, me, sir. Yeah, you know, we're talking about Morse code, talking about telegraphs. Whatever is the matter? You told the court before that you worked at the same communication station as Mr. Graydon, did you not? Yes, I don't know why I'm still on the jury. It's a conflict of interest. That's correct. And the particular station where you work deals with government communications and newspaper reports. Oh, yes, we're not your run-of-the-mill communication station at all. Our work is extremely important. Then tell me, hand on my sword knob, is this not a very familiar sound? Hmm? You don't mean to say, is it? That's right, madam. It bears more than a passing resemblance to the sound made by your telegraph machine as you tap it. I believe it's called Morse code. What? I don't believe it. It says the Prime Minister did it with a pig. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but when it comes to leaking telegrams from government departments, there could be nobody more perfectly placed than a highly skilled communications officer! Are you suggesting the music box disc contains stolen government secrets in Morse code and we have just broadcast them to the entire world? Line up, everybody. We are killing everyone in the gallery. Hubbub, hubbub, hubbub. I knew this would happen someday. I'd get killed in the courtroom. Order! Order! Please, everyone, order! But this is high treason, Council! Deserving of capital punishment! Too much no vocabulary. What is treason? And what is capital punishment? The sorts of words I'd half expect you to know! For our sovereign government's confidential information, hostile nations would surely pay almost any price. Yes, and on that night 2 months ago, that was the very negotiation that was taking place inside the omnibus. Well, thank goodness that Milverton and McGilded are both dead already. I'm going to read some more in the chat now. Bumbo! How you doing? Said now GAA 1 and 2 were, if I'm correct, originally one massive game, so this case is more like a halfway point than a finale. I know, but it does feel like if they divided them up into 2 releases, you still want like a big, epic climax, right? It's like episodes and seasons of shows should still be self-contained if it's not the end of the story. But, I mean, I'm still looking forward to the second half, more than half, second part, whatever the next game is going to be. But how are you doing, Bumbo? Oak said, got the game like a week ago, and I have 52 hours in it already. I have a problem. So can you explain to me, in Silksong, what am I supposed to do when you encounter those enemies like the one boss's minions that were spawning that when they spin the swords, I couldn't hit. Am I supposed to only dodge? Do I have to like attack from a different angle to avoid the swords? Do I have to learn how to parry to cancel out their attacks? Because that's what I couldn't figure out in that one boss fight. Vera said, Oak, the only medical shows I watch were K-dramas way back when, so I can't help out. You know what's another good medical show? Actually, like legitimately a really good medical show is Scrubs. It's gonna be different than House because it's of course a sitcom, but it's still really, really good. Queen says, would you want an anime version? If so, let me hunt it down. Evelyn, how you doing? Said my boyfriend got my mom pregnant? I'm going to assume that that's either like a role play thing you have going on or just, I'm just gonna say something outlandish to try and get everybody's attention. But how are you doing, Evelyn? I'm going to assume that your boyfriend did not get your mom pregnant, and I hope that your boyfriend does not get your mom pregnant because that would be wrong on a multitude of levels. Quickett says, Oak, okay, if you can get it on Crunchyroll. Amiku MD, Dr. Detective I hear is really good. Oh, I've been meaning to watch that. Okay, Oak, yeah, Queen K, the one that she mentioned just now. I've heard it described as basically House, but if House was an anime girl instead. I've heard it's really good. I don't know if that's an accurate description, but I would, yes, thank you for reminding me about that, because I do want to, if that's the one I'm thinking of. In fact, let me double check to make sure that is the one I'm thinking of. I'm just gonna Google it really quickly. MD, Dr. Detective. It might not be. Yes, it is!
But Logan House is an anime girl.
I know, but it's ripping it off. It's you know, think of it as, no, it's not a ripoff. It's like, you know how The Office originated as a show in England, and it came over, and then there was an American version of it. It's like that. It's like it's the foreign adaptation of it. Kind of like there's Breaking Bad in America, but there's also like a Spanish-speaking version of Breaking Bad. I'm pretty sure that Walter White's name in that is like, I don't know if his first name is Walter, but I think his last name is like Blanco or something. Huh?
We're currently going over it with Evelyn. It's somehow worse, and I really hope it's not real and crying.
I would assume, here's the thing, Evelyn, if it is real, my deepest sympathies, my heart goes out to you, and I'm so sorry. But stuff like that, especially if someone comes into a chat and just says that right off the bat, I feel like there's a 9 out of 10 chance that is just someone being goofy. Someone who's probably young and just wants to, like, you know, troll a little bit and say funny stuff. So I am going to assume until I hear otherwise that it's just a joke. It's just a gag. Let me take a look over the YouTube chat. Hang on, I gotta scroll up just a little bit. Dermo says, breaking news, shopkeeper killed. Parentheses, also state secrets leaked. I don't know, I don't care. I know, it's weird, right? Wendy Beckett, unless like state secret, that's like a story that's been going on for ages and ages and ages, and it's like, oh, we got a little update, and so it's not like the number one headline breaking news, but still, it's, yeah, like a pawnbroker dying. That is not a bigger story than state secrets getting leaked. Toshi says, sometimes I wonder what Naruhodos feel when the person they accuse ends up getting capital punishment. Oh, hang on, I accidentally pressed a button. I wasn't clicked out of the game there. When the person they accuse ends up getting a capital punishment. Yeah, like, because when you do think of it, in a way, like Phoenix Wright is responsible for people getting executed, but also just indirectly, because those people still then get a trial, and it's going to be a different prosecutor going to, well, a prosecutor, not him, like, you know, getting the person convicted. But he's just helping solve it, and then letting justice play its course. It's like Batman. Batman doesn't kill, but if one of his rogues gets the electric chair, like, it legally, he's fine with that. Except there was one Batman story that was kind of BS. Okay, tell me what you think about it. Because Joker, you know the Joker. Everybody knows Joker. He's got like a crazy high body count. He's probably killed like thousands of people over the course of DC Comics, and but he always gets declared like quote unquote not guilty by reason of insanity and sent to Arkham Asylum instead. There's one story where he got just declared flat out guilty and was sentenced to be executed. But then Batman found out what? This one murder he actually didn't do. So he was gonna do the logical thing and break Joker out of prison and keep him out of the electric chair until he could find the real killer. It's like, dude, just let it happen. Let the system run its course. It's not this. And then afterward you can try to find the real killer and say, whoopsie daisy do, I guess you shouldn't have executed Joker, but he should be executed. In any real like normal society, he should be executed. Let me have a sip of water. We'll keep going here. Okay, so what was Rinosuke saying? Yes, and on that night 2 months ago, that was the very negotiation that was taking place inside the omnibus. But in the end, Migilded perished, and the all-important disc lay unclaimed in the pawnbrokery. My word! In which case, whoever stole that information in the first place must surely have been beside himself with worry. Because if the disc were to be discovered before it found its way out of the country, it would reveal an act of high treason punishable by death. So the culprit had no choice but to retrieve it. And in order to do that, he would have to gain entry to the pawnbrokery illegally in the middle of the night. Okay, so we're not saying that Graydon definitely is not working with the government to reobtain, to rescue the state secrets, which makes sense because like the government ought to be able to just go in and say, hey, this belonged to Magnus McGilded, he owned it. Okay, if we're aware of that, we need to confiscate it. It's like government secrets. I think they could do it. So in that case, he has to, it sounds like he was working with thrice fired Mason Milverton. Again, remind me, Milverton or Mulverton? I keep forgetting. Milverton. So yeah, and you know what? They're both blonde. They're related. Somehow. By marriage. That's why they have different last names. Unless, like I said, Ashley Graydon is just like another fake name. He would have to gain entry to the pawnbrokery illegally in the middle of the night. Because the article left behind by Mr. McGilded would incriminate him too much if it got into the wrong hands. I'd do it quicker now. I'm so used to it. Isn't that right, Mr. Graydon? Oh! I gotta put my ear things back on. They got the hook things, so I can't just jam them in. There we go. There we go. There we go.
Oh! You don't think I've been stealing government secrets?
Selling them, at the very least.
Preposterous! Absolutely preposterous!
So in response to the defense's accusation, you claim complete innocence, do you?
Well, of course I do. I've had to stand here in silence while that pretentious foreign lawyer has been prattling away.
Objection!
Ah, is Fancy standing up for us? Ha! Then, by all means, counter the charges, sir. The prosecution demands the witness testifies in response to the accusations brought by the defense.
Delighted, I'm sure.
The witness is reminded that the crime under scrutiny in this trial is the murder of the pawnbroker, Mr. Windybank. That being a most... I need to look this up. I don't know how to say that word. There you are. There you are. Hang on. Hang on! Oh. I hate the AI overview, but at least there's a pronunciation there.
Flagitious.
Flagitious!
Flagitious.
Yes!
Flagitious.
Flagitious!
Flagitious. Flagitious. Flagitious.
Like I said, that being a most
Flagitious.
offense for which the law of the land sanctions a capital punishment. Flagitious offense. Flagitious. But the heinous act of high treason is no less serious a crime. I urge you to bear that in mind as you testify, Mr. Graydon. So then let us proceed. I'm not a young man. Why are you doing that? Wait, did they have their own hold it? Was that their hold it? Did we hear their voices? You gotta let us have a rabbit and pork here, Governor. We got things to say. I beg your pardon. Who do you think you are? Name's Nash Skulkin, occupation professional baddie. Name's Ringo Skulkin, but we ain't baddies enough to sell out our motherland. Oh, they're worried that so they're baddies, but they're still patriotic. That's right. We're what they call the free skulking brothers. Join in with us, brother. Do it too. Do it to it. Bad timing, fellas. Very bad timing. I think their timing was delightful. Witness testimony, the Graydons counter. Okay, so the fact that Skulkin Brothers are here, that means they're obviously going to chime in at some point with something that we'll need to pursue. But you guys know the deal whenever we, we'll do this also later when we actually do the cross-examining. But let me save first before we hear the testimony, and then I will read some more in the chat, and then we'll get right back to the game. Because we're over an hour into stream, and I am very far behind in chat, as always. Queen Gator says, Oxnard is best hamster. Logan, no! Well, it's like, you ever seen, oh crap, what was the movie Monster Squad from the 80s? That's what they called it. It's like Wolfman's got nards, I believe was like the actual phrase. The quote, Queen Gator says, ew, listening to the disc, even with the blood? Well, we can't wipe the blood off. It's evidence. Vera says, oh, thank you for the Rex, guys. I gotta get up and wake myself up. Will lurk, thank you for the lurk, Vero! And I hope you enjoy the Rex. Again, I do very much enjoy Kenneth Branagh's Hamlet. It's just as long. It's like 4 hours. Magpie says, Magpie flying in. How we doing, chat? Magpie, were you here in time to hear me talking about Batman just a few minutes ago? Or did you already leave? But thank you for being here, Magpie. Hollow Knight says, lurk. Thank you for the lurk, Hollow Knight. Magpie says, apparently one of the skating games of the 90s or early thousands, I forget which, was given a slightly different name because they feared people would think skating referred to ice skating. I've also seen interesting cases where like games that were brought over from like Japan and localized into the United States that sometimes if they thought that the anime characters looked too cartoony, they'd make it like really tough, cool, Americanized box art, which almost always looks so much worse. Vera says, honestly fair, laughing, I'm there with you. Quicket says, they picked Bumblebee, my favorite main Transformer, and they did bad with it. It just wasn't a great story, is all. But yeah, I mean, Bumblebee's been other good stuff. Currently, I think well, I mean, not currently. And I'm not gonna say it in case I don't think it's spoiling anything for Vera, but I'll leave it at that. Okay. Vera says, they always fumble with Bumblebee because he's popular. They always Fumblebee. Vera says, not always, but they fumble with him more often. I think it's because they use him like all the time. Quita says, he was nice in Rescue Bots though, even though I have no context for him in that version. Was that based on the Transformers Prime version? Could he only speak in beeps and boops and bops? I hate it whenever they take away his voice. I hate it. It's so dumb. Quita says, all right, that's fair. It's like, how can I tell the difference between Japanese, Korean, and Chinese text, but I can't read any. Yeah, because like, I know what Japanese writing, hiragana, katakana look like. I know it, like Korean, they got like a lot of round stuff in there, a lot of like circular things you don't really see in Japanese. And then in Chinese, it's mostly just the kanji, right? Quita says, tip, if the text has circles in it, it's like the Korean. Hey! See, like I said, the round bits, the round parts. Oak says, this text has circles in it. Korean. Well, then you're speaking Korean, Oak. Quiggett says, touche. I was being as vague as possible in that TTS because you need to examine an item before presenting it, but I don't know if Logan did that last stream or not. Lol. Said, plus, it's good to refresh memory. Vex says, hello, I'm here. Welcome, Vex. Good to see you as well. Hollow Knight says, I've got to go. Bye. Thank you for being here, Hollow Knight. Have a good rest of your night. I guess I don't know if you're going to sleep, so I won't say sleep well, but have a good rest of your night, whatever you're doing. And Vera says, bye-bye, and Unlurk, welcome back, Vero. Let me take a look over the YouTube chat. Oh, I got to scroll up a little bit. Derma says, everyone in this room would be executed. They did that for much, much less. Wait, what? What is that? Is there an actual, like, historical story behind this? Because they just heard the state secrets. They're not perpetuating them. I can't tell if you're joking and just going, it's like, oh, England, or if that's an actual thing that happened. Toshi says, I hope they can sleep at night. Endora says, yeah, and the UK office is better in my opinion. I would agree with you. I prefer the UK version of The Office. There are a couple of moments in the UK version of The Office that I just, like, that were heartbreaking to me. In a way, like, the American Office still has a few moments that are good. I really, really like the proposal to Holly. Excuse me. That was a really great scene. But the American Office also got, like, super, super silly. But the British Office, oh my gosh. With, like, Tim and Dawn instead of Jim and Pam. Like, some of the stuff they did was just so freaking, like, just well done. Yes. And Dura says, except when Batman does kill. That's just Golden Age Batman, right? And Dura says, there's some wild comics out there. Toshi says, are bats vegan? I don't know, like, some of them drink blood. I mean, there's, like, fruit bats, but if there's, like, blood, like, vampire bats, they drink blood from, like, cattle. But the cows only eat grass, so I guess it's just vegan once removed, right? Toshi says he doesn't have that. He doesn't have that bat in him. Endora says that was the Mad Magazine era, so yeah, American releases had to be gritty and, well, ugly. That is true. Oh my gosh. But yes, I do have a fondness for Mad Magazine. I freaking love Spy vs. Spy in old Mad magazines. When I was a kid, my older brother got like a stack of like Mad magazines, and my favorite thing, I would just grab them, go right to the Spy vs. Spy read, and then I'm done with that one. I didn't bother to read like anything else. I just love Spy vs. Spy, even on my Tomodachi Life Island. I don't know why I reverse those words. I made one of the spies from Spy vs. Spy, and he makes me very, very happy. Okay, let's keep going.
A mere communications officer couldn't possibly steal confidential government information. Besides, the sounds produced by that music box aren't even Morse code. It was some low-class brickmaker negotiating with McGilded anyway, was it not? I've no relation to the man.
You're both blonde. He's gonna be his kid. He's gonna be like his kid. What was I about to say though? Oh yeah, like as far as him saying like it's not even Morse code. Did like his coworker on the jury just like confirmed it's Morse? In fact, can't she like tell us what it means? Again, just like whisper it to the judge in quiet, but she should be able to she understands Morse code.
All we done is break into the golf the other night like what he told us to. If we'd known there was dodgy government secrets involved, we wouldn't have touched it.
I love these kind of bad guys, where it's like they've got lines they won't cross. They got principles. I feel like sometimes in American media, it's like if he's a bad guy, he's just a bad guy. Especially like for children. Oh, that's it. Okay. Oh. Mr. and Mr. Skulkin.
Well, Mr. Ado, Governor, what's up?
Do I take it that you now admit to the crime? That on the night in question, you did indeed gain entry to the premises illegally? And moreover, you did so as a party of 3 in collaboration with Mr. Graydon here?
My chin is so big. It was always this big. So smooth.
We did, Gov. We did. Oh! Oh, they are standing up for it. I like that. Oh, wait, your foot's almost off the crate there. Ringo. Quieten down, please. What say you to that, Mr. Graydon?
I have no idea what these 2 ruffians are referring to.
I don't think that's a bad word. I've heard that, but I don't, like, Dermo, can you confirm?
You little... That word, I think it's fine, but I'm not going to say it just in case. Getting us mixed up in all this monkey business. You never said nothing about no government secrets. It was supposed to be a straight-up job. What about the geezer whose shop it was, eh? Poor old bloke didn't have to die, did he?
Oh, nice to know who your friends are. I don't know. They're standing up for what's right. I'd be friends with the Skulkins a little bit. Not close. I wouldn't want them to rob me.
Whatever these men say, I deny the accusations.
Indeed. Well, I certainly wasn't expecting this little music box to become so significant in the proceedings. However, as it has, I will admit it into the court record as evidence. The small music box has been entered into the court record. I do not read it! I gotta examine it. Cross-examination, Graydon's counter. Okay, so we're gonna save. I normally will save and then read chat right away, but I want to save, examine it, and then I'll save again, and then I'll read some chat. So give me just a minute here. I want to see what the music box actually says. So we back out here. Go to the music box. This strange music box only appears to be able to play a single note. It was deposited at Winniebank's 2 days before the black overcoat. So we examine it. There's the disc, the 4 McGilded note. There's all the gears and everything. Is there anything like on the bottom, maybe? Oh, there's like a button. Maybe that'll open up something, like a secret compartment, or maybe like see the underside of the gears and everything. Let's take a look at the top first. See how the 4 McGilded disc sits in the music box the man deposited at Winniebank's? It couldn't be a more perfect fit. So there's no question then. This is its box. It was designed for the disc. This disc was designed to be played in this music box. Yet despite that, the sounds it produces are neither musical nor do they appear to have any meaning. It just doesn't make any sense. I wonder if perhaps there's more to this music box than meets the eye. The Decepticons, maybe we haven't discovered all its secrets yet. Okay, go look at the gears. The gears and whatnots. This is the mechanism that turns the bumps on the disc into sound, isn't it? Maybe we need to like flip it over or play it backwards or something? Yes, the movement! It's all thanks to the comb with its teeth that are plucked by the passing bumps! Usually the teeth on the comb are different lengths, so that each one produces a different tone. But this comb is very strange. All the teeth are exactly the same length. Well, what does that mean? It means that no matter which tooth is plucked by the passing bumps, the music box will make the same sound. I've never seen a music box like it before. Yes, it's strange. A music box that can only play a single note. There has to be some significance to that, surely. Okay, can we click in the back? No, the side. Is that an ornate gem, jewel, whatever? Okay, let's click the bottom because there's this thing. It looks like a little button. I want to press it. I want to stick my finger in it. Oh! What is that, Bruno? I just noticed something about this music box. It has a belly button. It looks like the bottom of it opens up as well. Ah, you're right! Well, come on then, what are you waiting for? Let's open it! Let's open up that bottom! Just open that bottom wide open! All right then, here goes.
All right.
Oh, an alternate music box! Okay, why not? Why not? Look at that! There's another movement on the underside. The question is, will it let us play it now? Or is it gonna like have to wait until later to let us play? It's like, that's interesting. Oh well, it won't matter until I present this as evidence later. So, does that mean ... You can set another disc to play back on this side? Oh, so maybe one disc has the dots and the other has the dashes? And put together, they make complete Morse code. That's why he was asking what else was in there. He was asking, there's one disc, he's like, where's the rest of it or something like that, right? Yes, I think so. And it looks like the two movements are linked together. They're linked. So if you had two discs, they would both play at the same time. What, would you have to like line them up to synchronize them? Oh, and that's it. Okay, so I guess since we don't have two discs, we can't try it. Let's see, anything else? We click the mechanisms now that we see them? Like, look closer, yeah. Who'd have thought there would be a second movement on the underside of the box? And this movement is like the other one. The comb's teeth are all the same length. So this movement also only produces a single note. A single tone, like the other one? Yeah, it must do. It must do. It must do. It must do. Is the right must do? It must do. Except that the length of the teeth on the two combs isn't the same. Yeah, so yeah, they'll be different from each other. So the single tone produced by this movement will be different to the single tone we've already heard. What? Basically, each movement can only produce a single note. But the notes they produce are different. A music box that can only play two tones. You're not gonna add that to my court record? Why are you not adding that to my court record? Game! Oh. Didn't even add it to the court record. Okay, now we know the deal. Before we do this, we're gonna save, we're gonna press every statement, we'll figure out where we're gonna be presenting evidence, or pursuing things. I'm assuming the Skulkin brothers are gonna chime in. I don't know. We shall see. But first, let me read some chat. Let's see, Vera says, got food. Queegat said, what you got? Vera says, ramen. Queegat says, ooh. Vera says, got too lazy to make actual food. Queegat says, mood. Vera says, go my slop. Queegat says, I got lucky cooking some nuggets with a... Wait. Katie, are you sure you cooked nuggets? You sure they weren't buggets? Before my power went out, lol. Vera says, you guys don't have a gas stove? Queegat says, I don't think so. Everything needed the electricity. It's the same at my place. My place is an electric stove as well. There's where Lord Shiro's raid was. Holy cow, I'm just now barely reaching Lord Shiro's raid. So I can at least scroll down a little bit. Oh yeah, there's Lord Shiro saying got 13 /14 for those that know the routes. Evelyn said, my boyfriend got my mom pregnant and I was getting wedding rings for him. Crying face. Okay, yeah, that is definitely a made-up goof then. Vera says, what? Queegat says, please pin. That was pinned earlier. Queegat says, I'm sorry. What? Vera says, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. That's crazy. Evelyn says, my mom is 64. Queegat says, what? Oak says, this cannot be real. Evelyn says, it is. Ha-da-ba-ba-ba.
Yay, just skip some messages in chat. We yapped for a bit.
About this? About the scandal of the 64-year-old mom doing pregnancy and wedding rings. I'll browse through. I'll skip over a bunch of. So thank you, Queen Katie. Let's see. Because Vera's saying I'm so happy. Sorry, that happened. I'm stunned. Alan said he found a honey package. What does that even mean? Oak said, don't want to accuse you of anything. Be the oldest person to have ever gotten pregnant was 52-year-old.
But if you look in the Bible, Abram's wife Sarah had a baby at 99.
Lord Shiro says, oops. That's what the fictional boyfriend probably said. Oops, all preggers. It's like oops, all berries, but instead of crunch berries, it's pregnant ladies. And Oak says, least naturally, unless your mom's first ever to have gotten pregnant at your age, it feels unlikely at her age. Not she's okay, so I can scroll down. Oh yeah, there's some stuff here. Misdiagnosing. Oh wow, this was going crazy. Magpie says might be someone Stone's Tomodachi Life Island. Oh, maybe that's what it is. That would make more sense. Evelyn said, no, I just got a call. Good idea. I'll leave it there for now. More talking about this. Scrolling down. And Evelyn said, watching with Hollow Knight. Magpie says, for real, that's some nonsense. Like, nobody would let the Joker survive this long. Man has mad plot armor. And that's that. Yeah, I think part of the problem is they really need to, like, dial back on the sheer scale of slaughter that he does. It was already getting ridiculous, and I feel like Scott Snyder, when he was writing, really just, like, took it way too high, where every Joker says, there's hundreds of dead bodies. It's like, dude, at that point, you are... No government on Earth would not have you killed on sight. It's just absolutely ridiculous. They just need to dial back Joker to being the clown prince of crime. Yeah, he kills people and he's scary, but you look at the classic Joker stories like Jokerfish. Like, yeah, he killed people in it, but he didn't kill hundreds of people in it, and it wasn't just like killing being the main crime that he was committing, you know? Vex says, wait, how did we say the word again? Flagitious, or whatever it was, and Laura Shearer says, Nash! Nash and Ringo are pretty great. Let me take a look over at YouTube chat. Turbo says, I'm not referencing to any event specifically, but considering even peaceful protesting got civilians gunned down en masse, the Bogside Massacre, aka, oh yeah, Bloody Sunday, I've heard of that. That's like the YouTube song, like Sunday, Bloody Sunday, right? Ryu doesn't stand a hope. Says, Rotter isn't a slur. What a fun job to have. Thank you, Dermo, for letting me know what words I can and can't say. And Dermo says, oh gosh, music boxes are imprecise on a good day. Imagine syncing up two sounds like a logistical nightmare. We specifically got a gas top and electric stove, so we're safe in case for cooking. I just like having less chance of gas, because there was one time when I was a kid that our stove, like my mom was heating something up with the stove or the oven, and the pilot light went out, and I was like in the next room over, like doing homework, and I breathed in a bunch of that gas. She caught it eventually. It wasn't like a long time, but I breathed in enough that I was like up all night vomiting just because of gas poisoning. And so it's like that kind of made me go, okay, I am fine not having a gas. Other people can have them all they want, but I'm so fine with just an electric stove. That is enough for me, but that's just me. Let me have a sip of water and let's do this cross-examination. Also, holy cow, we're halfway through the stream already. Okay.
A mere communications officer couldn't possibly steal confidential government information.
Hold it! So is this newspaper headline accurate? Government communications are being intercepted.
How could I possibly know?
What do you mean by that? You don't know everything? You seem like a smart guy.
Any important government communications are handled by high-level officers, by specialists. General members of staff in the station where I work would never be entrusted with sensitive information.
We should confirm with juror number 5. Oh, maybe that's her saying, is this juror number 5? Oh no, stop. Oh, it is. Stop. I must say something. Stop. Let me guess. Juror number 5?
We regular communication station officers aren't as lowly as you're being led to believe. A team of us are responsible for setting up and testing the telegraphs used by the ministry. And Mr. Graydon is the team leader.
That's fascinating. Oh.
Graydon is a highly skilled operator. Stop. Currently in presence of idol. Stop. Oh, my eyes are sparkling. My heart is doking. Oh, take me now, Ashley Graydon. We're both blonde, so we're already related, but it doesn't matter. I will have inbred children with you.
Okay, why not? I'll allow it. So you had access to the equipment used for these confidential communications, Mr. Graydon.
Well, what of it? The transmissions are always made behind closed doors, so they can't be heard. In any case, all messages are sent enciphered. Normal employees couldn't possibly understand them.
Okay, so it sounds like that's why she couldn't translate the message. It's still Morse code, but maybe there's a cipher to it.
Oh no, stop. Must say something. Stop. Mr. Graydon regularly attends meetings with ministry technicians and the ministry communications team. He assists them in ensuring that there are no errors in important international communications. And he's received the top prize at the cipher cracking convention 5 years in a row now.
Dude should have like laid lower than this, not stood out as much. That's also fascinating.
Oh, come on. Kick this lady out. She is literally leading everything.
Oh, she at the very least should not be a juror anymore. She should be a witness, much like Joan Garadeb should not have been a juror anymore. She should have been a witness. Like, yeah, everything about this trial. Like, even if we, like, I guess it's not a trial against him, I was gonna say, but nothing in this trial should be admissible in Ashley Graydon's trial later on. But thank you very much for the 10 bits. It is so ridiculous.
Oh.
Graydon is highly skilled operator. Stop currently in presence of idol. Stop. Oh!
Oh. Well, your idol would appreciate it if you keep your mouth shut.
Oh, closed mouth kisses. All right. No tongue. Yet. Oh, what was that? Oh. She should really pick her idols more carefully.
I tell you, this lawyer's accusations are completely unfounded. Besides,
Oh, that was only one statement. Wow, that was a long pressing.
besides, the sounds produced by that music box aren't even Morse code.
Hold it! They're not? Yeah, this is what we need to confirm with Juror 5.
To anyone with a brain, that would be blatantly apparent on listening to that music box for even a few seconds.
Of course. I have a brain. I have a big brain. I have the biggest brain. Surely it can't be that my learned friend is unfamiliar with Morse code. Ouch. He looks genuinely shocked at my ignorance. Oh, who's this laughing? It's probably Iris. Oh no, it's her. I would be more than happy to demonstrate the basics for you, sir. Oh, lesson, okay. Because this chapter is so educational already. Stereoscopes, telegraphs, let's go. Here in court. Morse code is a continuous set of 2 distinct tones. Tones, you say? 2 of them, like the number of things that music box makes.
Yes, a short dot and a long dash. By combining those in different ways, you construct letters.
I see. Fascinating.
For example, this is A, and this is B. But when you listen to the sound produced by this music box, you only hear one tone, don't you?
But it sounds so similar! The rhythm of it is the same in everything!
But there is no discernible meaning to this apparently random sequence of sounds.
So it's just like either was it Dermo or Toshi said that. So I guess it's not their space out, but it's the other side of the box.
So your assertion is fundamentally flawed. This is not Morse code.
Really, you shouldn't be so surprised. What did I tell you? That music box is nothing but a worthless piece of scrap. Oh, perhaps you might consider studying your subject matter before casting aspersions in future.
Oh, stop! Nothing to say, but stop! Oh, it's so frustrating, isn't it? I bet you wish you were good at this. Iris? I mean, if the government secrets were somehow being leaked using the music box, so many other things would slot into place so nicely. Could there still be something I haven't considered? Would it really be impossible to use this music box somehow to play back Morse code? I'm gonna save. Obviously it is. But I'm gonna come back to this. I wanna press all the other statements first, because this might, like, advance the storyline. I don't want to see if there's gonna be other delightful things first. But let me read some more in the chat first. I have a sip of water. Here we go. Hang on. Quinkita says, Paranapple, yay! Magpie says, of course Magpie is still here. Logan is so far behind the lol. Vera says, me and my friend are doing 12 hours marathon hangout since everyone is finally getting a free day, and we're trying to fill it up with stuff to do, so I guess so I appreciate all the recs. Do I need to give you some more reading order stuff for later IDW things? Are you still reading IDW? Vero. Quita says, nice. Hope y'all have fun. Vera says, thank you. Quita says, yeah, Bumblebee in Rescue Bots was mute. At the time, I had no other lore knowledge, so I thought he was always mute until I watched the animated series with the human girl, and I was like, oh, snap, he's cool. Yeah, that was something that just Michael Bay and Steven Spielberg helped out with the very first live-action Transformers. They came up with for the movie. And then for movie synergy, they're like, well, now he's got to be mute in like everything. And then they eventually finally stopped doing that and let him actually be a character instead. I hated his mute thing. Vera says, Bumblebee in Rescue Bots is Transformer Prime Bumblebee. He later gains his voice off screen because he turns into Robots in Disguise 2015 Bumblebee. Well, it wasn't off screen. It was in the Predacons movie, Predacons Rising, right? That's when he got his voice back, I think. Quita says, ooh, maybe someday I should check that out to appreciate his cameos more. Oh, so maybe it was like off-screen in Rescue Bots that he got it, because it was in that. Vera says, Robots in Disguise 2015, the show with Fix-It, is fun and chill if you like episodic shows. Villain of the day kind of formula with fun team dynamics. Quita says, I thought they were just trying to be like, hey, disabled bots, like they did in PBS Kids with wheelchair characters, which is just as cool and epic. No, and I'm fine with representation, but it's like that's not what the character was. And plus the radio thing in the Michael Bay movies doesn't make sense. And let's see, and Vera says, they surprisingly do bad with Mute B because he's reduced to beeps and there's barely an expand on his thoughts as a character. But alas. Oh yeah, let me take a look over the YouTube chat as well. Am I still caught up over there? Oh, I gotta scroll up. Oh, I gotta scroll up. Oh, I gotta scroll up a whole bunch. Let's see, Derma says, oh, I hate that U2 song with a passion. Okay, here's the thing. I actually really used to like a lot of U2's music. My favorite song was With or Without You, and there were some other songs I really liked as well. But then when they like forced every iPhone in the world to download their latest album as like a deal they had with Apple, and that no matter how many times you deleted it, it would just keep automatically re-downloading, I just, out of sheer resentment, it's kind of ruined a lot of their music. I still like With or Without You, but a lot of their other stuff is just like, ugh, U2. Toshi says, the power is off most of the day here, so sometimes we cook food the Stone Age way beside the gas stove, of course.
It's not my Transformers friends. Also, I haven't been reading it lately.
No.
Points vaguely at my eyes being wonky,
okay, no, that
but
makes
we
sense.
will get back to it. Still haven't finished the whole Sentinel stuff.
Oh, so you're still on that? So have you not done the More Than Meets the Eye tie-in with I can't say what characters in it, but I think you'll be happy who shows up. But thank you very much for the 10 bits. Vero, I'm sorry. Any updates on your eye, by the way? Because last time you said they were running a bunch more tests. Did they confirm their previous diagnosis, or did they find out that they need different like medicine or treatment for you or something? And Durma says, it's an anti-war song about a massacre. I find the mismatch misleading and genuinely offensive. I'm already at the line, so I'll leave it there. I actually didn't know that it was specifically an anti-war song. Chat, I'm gonna be real. 90% of the time when I listen to music, I don't listen to all the lyrics. And if I listen to or I'll just listen to like one or two lines of lyrics. I don't know what most songs are about. Durma says, he also was a member of the Music Box Appreciation Society and recently did a master's on government data and its market price. The dashes and dots aren't two different tones though. It's the same tone, just longer or shorter. The whole point is it can be transmitted as a binary signal. What I'm saying is that maybe that you could translate it using two tones instead, where one of the tones would represent it like a dash instead of a dot. There are other ways around it, or like the music box thing, because I don't know if a music box can make longer notes. But they're gonna do something, obviously, I think, unless it's like some other code instead of Morse code. But we'll get there. We'll get there. We'll figure it out. As I said, I'm gonna give it a try later because I want to see what the rest of the pressing the statements will do. So I'm gonna come back to this. But obviously, we should be able to give it a try. But or actually, right now, we probably aren't gonna be able to because we don't have another disc. So we need to wait until we get another disc to put in there. So yeah, I think we're probably not supposed to do this now anyway. Maybe at some point, Gregson or the Skulkins will chime in with another disc. So we'll say, it seems impossible. Maybe the give the try was just to convince us to examine it, to open up. We already did that. The defense will concede that the music box is irrelevant for the time being.
Oh, for the time being. Oh, such optimism. I have the wrong hand. There we go. Oh. Too debonair to admit defeat, are we?
Oh, those gesticulations are really starting to grate. I think the gesticulations are great. It can't be Morse code unless it has two distinct tones. Perhaps I should examine that music box in a little more detail. I mean, he is very smarmy, but again, he doesn't feel like a culmination bad guy. He's a bad guy, but not like an end-of-game bad guy.
It was some low-class brickmaker negotiating with McGilded anyway, was it not? I've no relation to the man, besides being blonde and possibly being related. No relation other than relation, but not relations. We didn't do it.
So 2 months ago, in that omnibus, McGilded killed the brickmaker and stole the disc. Mr. Mason was a single man with almost nothing to his name. Okay, single, you mean single in the sense he was just one guy? Or he was single in the sense that he did not have a wife and or son, either of whom could have been named Ashley Graydon? It seems he lived in an artisan quarter some years ago, but people there remember little about him. That doesn't make much sense though, does it? How would a humble brickmaker come to acquire secret government information?
How indeed?
There must have been somebody else involved behind the scenes in all of this. Somebody who acquired the disc and gave it to Mr. Mason in order to take it to the meeting with McGilded and negotiate a deal.
Dear me. You may have it in for me, sir, but I assure you, I have far more class than that.
An old brickmaker from an artisan quarter and his well-to-do communication, and this well-to-do communications officer. If only I could find some evidence to link the two of them together. If you have nothing more to add on that note, let us return to the witness testimony. Oh, we made it to the Skullcans! Let me read some more in the chat, though. Let's see. Viewer said, Queen says, oh man, I found the show on Tubi, but the site is broken because half the stuff is unclickable for some reason. So I added it to my list on the TV app tomorrow. Says, oh, now it loads okay, Tubi. And there's Lord Shiro with an emote and Queen Katie with a hydrate command. Thank you very much, Queen Katie. I will do that right now. Thank you. Vera says, laughing, my friends were at TF conventions this weekend, and they made a how much money are we going to spend at a con, and tell me why one of my friends said about $100 and ended up spending $1,000? I have spent over $100 at a convention before. Now, does that just count like also airfare and hotel accommodations and stuff like that? Wow. Wow. But yeah, I found out there were apparently two this weekend, the same weekend, TFCon in Toronto and BotCon in Chicago. I didn't realize, and I don't know if that was a coincidence or if they were competing, but there were two Transformers conventions going on, and I didn't get to go to either of them. Queen Katie with a timestamp, 1 hour, 19 minutes. I am a little ways behind. Vera says, this video is cracking me up so bad. Lord Shira says, lol. Wait, what video? What video, Vera? What video is cracking you up? Queen Katie says, truly the overachiever. Lord Shira says, lol, Logan is so behind in chat. Magpie says, at least it's not he became the ambassador of Iran somehow. An actual story. Yeah, that's the story for when he killed Jason Todd, the second Robin, is that he had diplomatic immunity because he had become the ambassador of Iran. Queen Katie says, I'm gonna nab chips. It's Stacks. Oh, I've never had Stacks. Are they good? Lord Cheer says, Graydon, be like, please shut up, woman. Queen Katie says, Graydon planning more murder in it in a second. Pin message, Vera. Oh, there's also Cybfest. So, wait, Cybfest? So 3 TF conventions? I'm not even familiar with Cybfest. Wow, because I know some of the more obscure ones like DairyCon and Cyber Expo and things like that. And, well, in TF Nation, that's a big one. That one's just like in the UK, though. But wow. Well, oh, and Queen Katie with some Bucket emotes. Okay, and let me take a look over at YouTube really quickly here. One more comment it looks like. Derma says, yeah, but for her but her explanation implies that's how Morse code usually is. Okay, yes. All right, well, let's get back and let's see what the skull can say.
Look, we don't All we done is break into the gaff the other night like he told us to.
Hold it! Can't speak for him. Like Mr. Graydon told you to do, you mean?
That's it, yeah. Who else, eh? Silly me thought we was just popping over for a natter. A bottle of natter. After all them years.
After all them years? Wait, no, Graydon isn't like their long-lost brother, though.
But the rotter had a dodgy job for us. Hey, Ash.
Okay, so they have a history. They're not just like hired baddies. Let me stop you there, Mr. Skulkin. After all them years, you say? Shouldn't it be after all those years? Your grammar sucks. Anyway, that's all I had. Continue. Do you mean to tell me that Mr. Graydon is an acquaintance of yours?
We're a sociable kind of baddies, you know. Sure, let's say Graydon's an old China.
Ringo. Okay, well, we'll come back and we'll obviously pursue this, but we still got one more statement to press after this. Look at those squishy cheeks.
Oh, enough! Why don't you baddies desist with the fiction?
Ah.
Obviously, I don't know these men from Adam. Now, for the last time, stop trying to implicate me in your sordid thievery.
Oh, that's blooming nice, isn't it? You little turncoat. Fine, if that's how you want it. Two can play that game. We ain't never heard of this geezer before either. Don't know him from Adam.
That's helping him!
Never spoken to him before in my life. Never even seen him. Never attended his birthday last month. Never brought him a really nice thermos that I thought he'd like. Keep soup warm. Never, Nash, never!
Oh, good grief, such a blatant lie will not stand in my courtroom!
Well, all I'll say is this. If we'd known he was dodgy government secrets involved, we wouldn't have touched it.
Hold it! So you did know nothing about this music box? Oh, sorry. So did you know nothing about this music box?
We didn't know nothing, we still don't know nothing, and we ain't planning on knowing nothing about it either.
But 2 nights ago, you did indeed break into Winniebank's pawnbrokery, didn't you? In your original testimony, you said that the door of the shop was ajar, and that it was some kind of a sign begging you to go in. But the truth is, you were planning to break into Winniebank's all along, weren't you?
We were, Gov, we were. You're right there. Because that's what he told us to do. It was his plan.
And why was it Mr. Graydon's plan to break into Winniebank's that night? Did you not ask the reason?
Well, he said the place was full of stuff worth nicking. That's what he told us beforehand anyway. Turned out it was a load of cobblers, didn't it? I weren't best pleased, I could tell you.
In any case, if they know the real reason, it doesn't sound like they're going to give it away. All of a sudden, we seem to be up to our necks in a serious matter of national security. Although, in all this talk about interception of secret government messages is still just conjecture at this stage. It would explain a number of things, though, wouldn't it? The negotiation Ginny overheard on the omnibus 2 months ago, and the break-in at Winniebank's. But the trouble is, it wasn't Mr. Graydon in the omnibus with Mr. McGildad. No, that was Mr. Mason, the brickmaker who was so horribly murdered. Mr. Milverton. If only there was some link between the two men somehow. I know, but Mr. Graydon's testimony seems to be as watertight as a watertight. He just denied everything. And it wasn't even watertight. Half of what he said was contradicted by juror number 5. I wonder if the key to us making headway with the cross-examination here. Could be those 2 brothers. Okay, so we obviously know what we gotta do. Second to last statement we'll press there. And there was a part where Ringo had something we're going to be pursuing. And we just got to skip over to that. And I'll read some more comments. Oh, I see we got a pin message over on Twitch as well. I will check that out in just a moment. Just hang tight, everybody. It was right after something that Nash said. I can't remember what. We'll do that, and then I assume that'll give us maybe access to another disc or something like that to be able to go back to the other statement and try the music box. I hope I'm not doing this in the wrong order. This feels like a good order. Okay, here we go. So let's save. And I'll check that pin message, and then I think we're moving in a good direction here. Okay, so the pin message over on Twitch says, please pin. By the way, Logan, including this one, we have 2 testimonies left the entire of this. Wait, so this one, and then just only one other after it? We're on the second to last testimony, but there's still a lot of. Oh, hey, it disappeared. It disappeared. It said there's a lot of chunk, I think is what it was. I didn't see after that, so there's still like quite a bit of stuff after that. Wow. You know, we could finish tonight. We just skip through chunk. If I just don't like read what people say and take away, I could never allow that. Let me read some more comments in the chat though. Let's see. Quigator says, Graydon. Oh, I read that. Magpie says, the things my mom is going to end up hearing due to listening to this stream nearby. Hi, Magpie Mom. Hi, Mom Pie. Mag Mom? No, Mom Pie sounds better. Hi, Mom Pie. Oak says, add quote, we're already related, but it doesn't matter. I will have inbred children with you. In all caps, too. And Vero adds a quote saying, fine. Quia says also, Graydon being her Oshi is something I bet she'd buy merch if possible. Little Graydon plushies. What did you guys say? I tried to look up again because I couldn't remember what it's called. The little long lanky where they like twisty dolls or something like that. The really weird ones. Vera says, it's a bag. Quia says, I hope they balance the music and the sound effects for this, well, on the 3DS's little speakers, lol. At a timestamp 1 hour 34 minutes, so it's still 20 minutes behind. Please pin, by the way, Logan. Oh, wait, what? That was pinned just now. Am I almost caught up to chat? Did 20 minutes pass by in a flash? There's still a lot of chunk in each one and after. So I gotta be very close to catching up to chat, unless that was like an old message. Wow. Am I still caught up on YouTube? Let me see over there. Derma says, usually I just say randomly becoming the ambassador of a country is absurd, but musician Frank Zappa genuinely became the US ambassador for Czechoslovakia for a brief period? Really? Well, the thing is, though, the Joker, though, became Iran's ambassador to the United States. And so he's not even Iranian. And so I think that would be crazier if Frank Zappa became the Czechoslovakian ambassador to the United States. But sure, why not? Why not? Says the ambassador to the U.S. for Czechoslovakia. Oh, wait, no, that is what it is. To the U.S. for Czechoslovakia declare. Are you kidding me? That is what he was. Wow. Okay, I think we all learned that Frank Zappa is Joker, apparently. Holy cow. That is, oh, and then another one, Frank Zappa isn't Czechoslovakian either. I didn't think so. I assume most people aren't Czechoslovakian. I know some people are, specifically people who are Czechoslovakian, people from Czech or Slovakia. I don't know. Okay. I saved, so let's do this now. We got to go over here, and we have to pursue. Excuse me. You look so happy thinking. Probably thinking about good times if they have a history. They were probably all best buds. You know what it is? It's probably a Phoenix Wright, Miles Edgeworth, and Larry Butts situation. They're all kids, and then they inspired each other to be bad guys. Is something wrong, Mr. Skullkid? You got to specify Ringo. Nash is going to think you're talking to him.
Aye.
No, the other Mr. Skullkid, not Gregson either.
What? Oh, me?
Okay, we got it only on 2. That's nice. When your brother was testifying just now, he said something that seemed to cause you to react.
Oh, I was just remembering the old days, that's all. We used to have a right old laugh together way back when.
Together? With Mr. Graydon, you mean?
Yeah, with Ash, I mean... You look at him now, it's a fancy what? What's that fancy whistle and flute? And you wouldn't Adam and Eve it. But when we was younger, he was from a poor part of town just like us. Perhaps he was a brickmaker's son. Perhaps a single brickmaker. Perhaps a single blonde brickmaker with a mustache who was going to get murdered in the future.
Is that so?
But he was all... Always leery, that one. Always a leery one. He had the brains. He had the savvy. Always coming up with smart ideas, like what would never have gone through our heads. God blimey, ain't that the truth? Remember Milverton?
Milverton! All blondes are related! He's a Milverton! Ah! So Ashley Graydon is another fake name? Milverton! I should make fun of him for having a name Milverton. It's for real. He's Milverton. I can't with this game. Why? Crap, why is it? This entire game, I have been trying so hard to guess things, and everything I legitimately guess is wrong. So wrong. I jokingly am like, oh, blondes are related, maybe, and that's the thing that's right. He's a Milverton. He's a Milverton, chat.
Remember Milverton and Skulkin's milk run? That was a corker, eh?
Save it until after the trial. Did you not notice what he said? Van Zeeks! Your reminiscing has no place in this courtroom. And neither does your fruit. Don't mind me. I am just very homophobic.
What? Do I?
Fun fact, I meant to spoiler clip a moment from many streams ago where you thought that Mr. Egg was their missing brother, not actual brother, but they are brother in arms.
They're buddy brothers. They're buddy brothers. So thank you for that, Queen Katie. Oh my gosh. Thank you for the 10 bits. He still hasn't been unmasked as Karawa from 100 Line. So it turns out Ashley may indeed be just like a guy's name 100 years ago. I think there are still people like nowadays that it could be a guy's name, but still. Wow. Thank you very much for the 10 bits. Thank you, Queen Katie. I appreciate that. Anyway, let's keep going here. Just a little bit more. I will be back to the chat very soon. Maybe once we get some music going on again.
Or the geezer asked us a question, did he? We was answering. Yeah, we ain't done nothing wrong.
Nevertheless, the court is not prepared to accompany you on your trip down memory lane. Judge, have them add that to their testimony, please. Counsel, can we turn our attention back to the testimony, please? No! I don't know. Could that sentimental story be relevant somehow? I did to the testimony! My lord! Yes, counsel. The brother's last sentimental statement could hold vital information relating to this case. Very well, counsel. I don't give a crap anymore. I will permit the brothers to supplement their testimony with that detail briefly. I hasten to add.
Say no more, Skulkin's never skulking. Milverton and Skulkin's milk run. Them were the days.
So I guess we'll probably present Susato's notes, which showed that was Mason's real last name. I still want to go back and try and do the music box thing, I think, in case there's anything important there. Let's save though first. Save. And then Queen Katie, all of you in your spoiler chat for Ace Attorney, you probably knew about this bullcrap with Milverton. Let's see. Vera says, oh, hang on, I gotta click out of the game too. Vera says, yep, haven't finished the last More Than Me CI bit. I'm still waiting for results from those blood works to get sent out to facilities, which takes weeks. And meanwhile, your eye just has to be not eyeballing properly in the meantime. Said my next appointment is around the 15th, 16th of the month, so it's a lot of waiting around. Well, that's just in a few days, though, right? Oak says, this Silk Song boss is ticking me off. Why does it have so much health? But now you'll be able to, like, guide me to cool power-ups the next time we play it, right, Oak? Fear says, no, just merch, laughing. Oh, that's $1,000 on just merch? Lord Cheer says, I don't count travel as con costs in that sense. I've certainly spent $1,000 at a con. Okay, I spent, like, I know I've spent probably in the past. I don't have this kind of money anymore. But in the past, I would, like, save up all year just for convention stuff. And there was at least one time, I think I spent, like, $500 on airfare, hotel, stuff like that. Convention admission, but no, I don't think I've ever spent $1,000 on just merch. I have spent hundreds, but not 1,000.
Bonus fun fact,
Oh.
I'll share it once it's officially revealed, but this is why I held off Ashley's Japanese name fact. It
Oh.
directly references this connection and would have spoiled it sooner, lol.
Well, I look forward to it being officially revealed, as TTS Girl said. So thank you, Quick. So that's why you couldn't say his Japanese name fact. So thank you. I will keep going in just a minute, but like I said, I do want to read some comments in the chat. Wow, we're already past the 2-hour mark. But yeah, this is so dumb. But thank you for the 10 bits! Let's see. Here said there's also Side Fest, so 3 TF conventions. It is 1K in merch and toys. I hope they're at least good toys. Well, hang on, does your friend collect third-party Transformers? Because that might make more sense, because they can be very expensive. Queen Katie says, Stax is good. Some would say it has the least flavor to it, but I actually like it. It tastes good, and it settles well in my stomach when I'm sick, aka the only food I can eat when I'm in a puke mood. See, when I'm in a puke mood, I just like simple stuff like cinnamon toast and oatmeal, and that's like about it. Said, would recommend mesquite barbecue. And Vera said, and Queen says to Vera, oh, could you pin this, please? And Vera said, thank you for letting me know. Queen says, no problem. Over on YouTube, Derma says, statistically, most people aren't Czechoslovakian. Statistically, most are either Chinese or Indian. Says, in the same way, the average person has one. I'll say downstairs sphere. And that does make sense. That does make sense. Says, I think this has broken Logan. He's a man past the brink. I mean, I didn't abandon the game like some Ace Attorney things have made me do. But Queen Kate, look, I have barbecue chips as well. I have a very small amount of barbecue Pringles. Oh, there we go. Not mesquite barbecue. But this is the official snack of U.S. soccer. Actually, I can't put it there in case I got to do a leg slam. I should get back in the game, if nothing else for the sake of any lurkers who might be there and wanting to see the game actually get played instead of me just talking.
Move Lieutenant Skulkin's milk run.
That were the days. Yeah, we already read this. So but we got to press this statement still, though.
Hold it! Cool.
I'm sure I'm going to regret asking, but what exactly was that? Some kind of business?
Just a little scheme we had back when we was youngsters. Bit of fun, really. Delivering fresh milk to the locals, that's what it was all about.
That sounds alarmingly legitimate. There must be a catch.
It wasn't cow milk. Me mum is very fertile.
Huh. I suppose since we're here, I should ask them to elaborate. But on what? The business name. Yeah, I want to hear the business model. Obviously, it's the business name. I want to hear the business model. So, how did your little business work exactly?
Well, every morning down our way, a milkman would come with his cart to deliver milk, see? If you stuck your empties out of your front door, he would leave them full again, right? So we swooped in on the action, got people to sign up with us. We promised to deliver milk at half the price of the other geezers doing it. Poor people couldn't wait to sign on the dotted line, so we were raking it in, we were.
So, did you live on a dairy farm or something? Oh yeah, that's not a swear, it's just a person, right?
Gordon Bennett, are you off your rocker? We had nothing. We were too poor to have a farm.
Right.
What we had going was simple once you had the idea. We just switch them over, see? Our customers' empties with the full ones from anyone who wasn't on our books. A dot, all right.
The problem is if you end up with all the customers, then you'll have no source of milk anymore. I think you meant to say a diddle? And that's a crime. Wait, did he mean a diddle or a doddle? Wait, was he diddling or was he dawdling? What and or whom was he diddling? He was diddling something or somebody.
It was just an harmless bit of fun, that's all.
Milking the general public in such a fashion is most certainly not armless as you put it. It has many arms.
Well, it was him who came up with the idea. Ash is an evil genius.
You mean Mr. Graydon?
Oh.
Well, yeah, Ash always had his head in the book when we was growing up. Said he was gonna get himself an education and get out of the slum we lived in. We all ragged him about that, didn't we? Told him he was soft in the head to even think about it. But look at him now, he's only gonna become a blinking communication officer, ain't he?
A communications officer, Mr. Skulkin! Sholmes and Wilson's meal crime. No, Iris! Don't even think about it! All of a sudden, we seem to be... Okay, this is the same dialogue as before, I think. Okay, so the question is, though, I feel like we're going to present the Milverton evidence, so maybe I should go back and try and do the disc thing like I tried before? And maybe doing that and examining the disc will get it added to the court record that the disc needs, or the box needs another disc or something? Could be those two brothers. So let's save, and I'll stagger the saves if I need to in case. I just want to make sure that it's not going to be one of those things where, like, one of them's only going to be providing some extra fun stuff, and you'll miss it out if you present the evidence. So let's go back and try this. Let's go try this again. So I believe it was I want to say it was the second statement, although it might have been third. Yeah, it was this one, I think. Hold it! And we pressed it, and then we would have a question of whether we want to try the music box. So while we're hammering our way through this, I will read some more comments in the chat. Let's see. Vera says, I miss chat sometimes. Waves a hand in front of my eyes. Top style. Lark! I'll be back in 20. See you when you get back in 20, Vero. I mean, we'll see you, but you won't. Top style. I don't know. I technically am not seeing you. I'm just seeing the writings that you're leaving. Queen Kitty says, aye. Vera said, ping me on Discord if you need me. And Queen Kitty says, noted. Okay, so we got to keep going here. Let me take a look over the YouTube chat. And Dermot just says, they made a milk-based Ponzi scheme. Indeed. I mean, it's impressive, I guess, ingenuity and ambition for such young kids. But yes, indeed. And then Lord Sheriff says, Milverton! Okay, so I gotta be really close to catching up then. Says, Graydon can't be a fake name because wouldn't Juror 5 have said Milverton in that case? Well, not if he got his job at the communications office under the fake name. I'm not saying it's like a fake name he gave to us, but it's like a fake name he's living in. Like it's an alias that he's using, which aliases can be legal, or he might have even done like a legal name change, or... if I'm right that he is a Karawa, which is now slang for just a lady in disguise covering up her booba with a white coat, then Milverton might have been his/her maiden name, and Graydon is the name of his/her husband. Maybe. That's a possibility, right? Okay. Let's go. I need to get to the... Well, wait, hang on. I'm glancing over the side. Looks like there was a clip roulette was redeemed. Did a clip play and I didn't even notice it? Was it a quiet clip? I want to make sure that the thing isn't stuck up here. Okay, there we go. Okay, so let's see if we do this. Yeah, give it a try. There is still every possibility that this music box was instrumental in the leaking of government secrets. That's the belief of the defense, at least.
Objection!
Does it please you in some way, my Japanese friend, to repeat the same line of argument ad infinitum? It's already been established that to be Morse code, 2 tones are required. Dots and dashes.
Yes, I'm well aware of that, but I examined the thing. It's got 2 tones. It does 2 tones.
Then what?
Well, it would appear the defense has a hypothesis to put forward. Oh. You had better present your idea at once, Council! How do you propose that this music box, which appears to produce only a single tone, could have been used to cipher secret messages into Morse code? Anyway, down here, click the button. Oh, what is it, Bruno? I've just noted something about this music box that I noted before, but I have memory problems. I have a brain problem. So we're just gonna open it up. Alrighty then, here goes. Oh, you can set another display on the side. Together. Oh, they're late. At the same time. Okay, so yeah, I clicked this then. Oh, there's a present button. That's why. Who would have thought there'd be a second movement on the other side of the box? Okay, so get out of this, and then we'll present the inside of the underside. The inside of the underside. The inside of the box's butt. This is the box butt. You've heard of buttocks. Now this is a butt box. I don't know. I should stop talking about butts. Butts are gross. Butts are where the poo comes out. There we go. Okay, now we will present. Got it. Oh, good gracious! What am I looking at here? Another movement on the underside of the music box? What? It appears, my lord, that the two movements are linked together. In other words, you can put two discs in this music box. And the sounds of both will play back at the same time! I hope I don't have to do this all over again later if it turns out this skips ahead and I need to go back and do the Milverton thing. Good heavens! As the court has heard, Morse code comprises of two tones, a short dot and a long dash. With a second disc in place, this music box can be used to generate Morse code and convey a message! Yeah, we know. We know.
Oh, this is beyond a joke.
That's right, because it's not funny. Why am I laughing then? I'm sorry!
This poor excuse for a lawyer has absolutely no evidence to support his claims.
Though, of course, if my learned friend were able to present the court with a second disc, that would be another matter. Well,
I can't at the moment. Oh.
And may I remind the court that, as the witness has pointed out, he was not the one in the omnibus with McGildy 2 months ago striking a deal over the disc or discs.
Indeed, that was Mr. Mason, the brickman. I sure hope that Mason and Graydon are both of these men's real last names.
Exactly! I had nothing whatsoever to do with it.
Though it has holes. Don't tell Oak, but it has many holes. I must admit the argument presented by the defense has much promise. I believe the cross-examination should continue. The link between Graydon and the victim of the omnibus case must be there somewhere, but I haven't found it yet. Oh dear. Looks like you need to give your argument more strength, Bruno.
Get your tongue out of there.
No! Which hole? There's so many holes. So many of them. So many more than tongues I got. It could be a team effort, just saying. But thank you for the 10 bits, Oak. Hope Silk Song is going well for you. I should read some more of the chat, even though I think I'm getting close to catching up because Lord Shear was shouting about Milverton. Magpie says, quote, the only fruit allowed here is me, Baruch, probably. And a timestamp, 1 hour, 58 minutes. Yeah, look at that. I'm only like 15 minutes behind. That's all. Lord Shear says, Ashley is a gender-neutral name. Okay, it is, but it's one of those that's like less commonly gender-neutral. Like the name Kelly. Kelly is technically a gender-neutral name. Like, I've met guys named Kelly before, but it's much less common to be a guy's name as opposed to being a girl's name. And so that's why I was thinking maybe it was a hint that they're just like making you assume like, well, it can be a guy. But it looks like the secret isn't that Graydon is a woman, it's that Graydon is a Milverton. And Milvertons are worse than women. I'm sorry. Unless there's anyone out there lurking who's a real Milverton. I don't know. That might be a real name. Queekita said also this means that I might finally post the final name fact for this game. Lol. We're getting there. Let me take a look over the YouTube chat. Derma says, a Karua added to the Logan dictionary. Especially in this era, you could live under multiple identities. Nowadays, it's harder with mass surveillance and government-issued IDs. That's right, like back in the old days, I assume if you like moved to another town, you just say, well, this is my name now. And the government just go, okay, I guess so. Why would you lie about that? I don't know. I know that it costs money. In fact, I guess we could ask Oak about this because this is sort of recent happenings. Because I know, like, for example, my older brother has wanted to change his legal name for a long time, but never has. I think it's because it's like too expensive. It costs money, right? I think it costs money. I don't know how much. I'm gonna take a stab in the dark and say $300. If not that, then lower, maybe $60. Actually, I have no idea. Oh dear, it looks like you need to give your argument more strength, Runo. You will reiterate your testimony, if you please, Mr. Graydon.
If I must, though I maintain exactly what I did at the start of this pointless cross-examination.
Okay, so we gotta go to the final statement, and we press that, and then we're gonna present the Susato's notebook. So we press— Hold it! I'm sure I regret asking, but who exactly was this? Some kind of business? Well, no, because we got to first of all pursue more on the name, and they'll probably say that Milverton was Ashley Graydon's. What's the opposite of a maiden name? I'm not like opposite in the sense of like a maiden name. A woman gets married, changes her last name, becomes her married name. I mean, like for a dude. So if you have a maiden name, do you have a like what's the opposite of a maiden? If it was a maid, it'd be like a butler. But it's like, yeah, what's the male version of a maiden? It's your gentleman name? Your bachelor name, maybe? Your bachelor name. Yeah, that sounds alarmingly legitimate, blah, 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 blah. So yeah, like if a guy has a last name that changes, it would be the Hudba?
At least in Massachusetts, it costs $165 to $180 to get a legal name change. The extra $15 depends on if the court has reason to believe anyone might contest the name change, e.g. if you have divorced parents or family drama or something.
Oh, okay. They might have to post your name change in the local newspaper to ensure nobody contests it, and it costs $15 to get your name change in the paper. Oh, that's interesting. I did not know that. So I was off on both guesses, but the actual amount was in between $360. But interesting. I mean, I don't plan on getting my name changed anytime soon. For those who know my full real name, you would probably understand why. It's too weird. It would be a crime against weirdness to get it fully changed. Anyway, business name. But thank you very much, Oak, for the 10 bits and for the information. Business name. Adibababo. Jude, ready with a party of 4. Welcome. Is Vero and or Crystal still at your computers to be able to do a quick shout out? For Jude, how was your stream? What were you playing tonight? Were you playing? Wait. Oh, hang on. Lord Shiro, if you're still here, and Jude, because y'alls are both 100-line Last Defense Academy peoples. Oh, you're playing Elden Ring Night Rain. Nice. All right, let's see what clip shows up here. Oh, crap. Okay, can we do that again? That's why the clip roulette didn't work earlier. I had to turn off the overlay guru earlier because there was a potentially Danganronpa spoiler clip, and I forgot to turn it back on. I am so sorry. Could you do that one more time, Crystal? And just, I'm so sorry to bother you, to impose upon you. Would you be so kind as to do another shout out? And then this time it will work.
Like I said, Jotaro is dead, and I said I want a pony.
It's Byakuya!
I want it. Daddy, I want the golden ticket. I want the golden ticket.
And a night. That's a pretty good Charlie and the Chocolate Factory reference.
I want a squirrel.
What were you have to spray in your throat at the end? That's a fantastic clip. That's like legitimately great. That is a great Byakuya cosplay. But how is your stream? Welcome. So for those who came in with a raid, hi. If you haven't been here before, because Jude has raided us before, but if you're new, hi, my name is Logan. We stream Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Sundays. The main 2 games that we're playing right now, we're alternating between this, the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. We're toward the very end of the first 2 games in the first of the 2 games in the collection. And we recently started this past week, Deltarune Chapter 5. And I should also do this periodically. I think we did this once earlier tonight, but I should do it more often and post our link tree into the chat, just in case anyone wants to check it out. I'll cross-post this over to YouTube since we're multi-streaming there as well. Has all of our social media, Discord invite, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, all that stuff. You check it out if you want, or ignore it. No pressure. It's there. The info is there. But yeah, other games we played in the past include Danganronpa, Persona, Omori. Like I said, we're doing Deltarune, and as you can see, Ace Attorney here. We did 100 Line Last Defense Academy and other games like that. Just lots of fun games. So welcome. And I read every comment in chat. I am not too far behind right now because we're like toward the latter portion of the stream, so I'm only like 15 minutes behind in the chat. But let me scroll down to where the raid happened so I can say hi to the raiders, and I'll scroll back up to where I was before. See, there's where Jude raided with a party for, and Astro Dude saying Wikipedia, birth name is also used as gender neutral or masculine substitute for maiden name. Okay, so that works. I was just trying to think of something like if men change their last name, like what their old last, but I guess that works, birth name, because they can be either. And then Jude says, tired. That is quite the raid message. How long were you streaming tonight? Lord Shear says, his name is Logan Robotastical, by the way, John. No, Lord Shiro, how could you dox me like that? How'd you know? How'd you figure out my real last name? Let's see. Chris said clip is not playing. Jude says the motion control chat. Oh, that's right. I forgot that you had. Yeah, I mean, I remember that you did that, but I didn't even click with me that you'd be doing that again. So that's why you're tired. Do you guys remember? For those who were here when we raided Jude, I mean, this is just like a nutso crazy way to play Elden Ring. But it's also super impressive. Jude had set up this like full-on motion sensor thing to do all. It was really cool, really cool. So I hope it went well. Lord Cheer says you turned it off for me. That's right. It was a Danganronpa. It looked like it might be revealing spoiler type of stuff. So I just wanted, just in case. I mean, most of our community has played Danganronpa, but not all of it. And so and there might be lurkers, so I'm just trying to be careful, you know? Queen says, whew, almost wasted bits, lol. Shira says, you hype for 2x2 to Jude. Jude's laughing. Crystal says, I want a golden ticket. You know you don't, because then you go to Willy Wonka's chocolate factory and you'll probably get killed. That place is a death trap. Fall in a chocolate river and get sucked into a chocolate tube. Get turned into a giant blueberry, get shrunk down really tiny, get transported your particles into a TV, fall down a huge pit, and you get, attacked by squirrels just looking for nuts. It's the worst. It is the worst. Jude says, I lost a few games regrettably because of my motion control challenge. But that's the thing, like, you're giving yourself intentionally a greater challenge. And so when you do win, it's even more impressive. Lord Cheer says, I cosplay a V3 character at cons. Won't say the name, since Logan seems to have not played it. Oh, no, I played V3. I thought, wait. I could have sworn that somebody was mentioning, and maybe I'm misremembering, but I'm going to guess now I'm second guessing. I was going to say Kokichi. Maybe it's Korekio. No, I played V3. I have absolutely played V3. I played all the Danganronpa games, and I'm very much looking forward to 2x2. Jude says, wait, he didn't? Chris said, don't worry, Logan has played all Dangan main games. I even played a little bit of one of the spin-off games, the Summertime, whatever, just the good board game thing, but I never really finished it. Lord Shear says, I rated, and my clip was from V3, and he hit it for spoiler. Chris says, you can say who? Oh, that's because there was another viewer, and a streamer has not played it. Queen says, oh, I misheard. Yeah, because no, it wasn't worried about me for spoilers. I was worried about, like, chat members for spoilers. Quita says, I misheard. I thought it was about an Ace Attorney spoiler. Lol, yeah, but he most likely hit it for other chatters. Shira said, then why hide my V3 clip? Like I said, because like one of our community members specifically has recently started Danganronpa, hasn't even finished the first game. And I, like, if she happened to be lurking or popping, I didn't want to spoil it for her. Does that make sense? Jude says, I wish I could say that, but I lost 3 games. Lord Shira said, but the character I cosplay is Monodam. Oh, wow. You never even think about like the Monocubs as getting cosplay. Now, okay, now here's the question. Do you cosplay like as like full on like bear outfit, or are you like a humanized version? But I like that. As you know, I'm a fan of robots. And so if you got to pick a Monocub, I think that's an excellent choice. Crystal says, the streamer is because the person was chatting at the time. Quick says, because V3 has wild spoilers, so we have to be careful on making sure nobody gets spoiled in chat. Jude says, oh yeah, sure am. Crystal says, ooh. Jude said, laughing, I predicted the final twist in the prologue. I still haven't played the demo for 2x2. I hope and assume it's just going to be like Hero getting killed again. Because in fact, I think I've seen like a picture of him in the background killed again. Or have they like released the actual like first section of the real proper game yet? Lord Cheer says, understood. Kuya says, maybe in 2028, Nora will finish Danganronpa because she plays too many games all at once. Jude says, I remembered I cosplayed. Correct you. Oh, I did remember correctly. Well, one of the two guesses. Krista says, MF has been in the epilogue / last chapter for a large number of years. Jude said I had to change into the long wig that gets tangled and do makeup, all while a tiny cubicle. So I guess right about Correcchio, sort of, but for the wrong person. So yeah, like I said, a wig like that would be crazy. But at least you don't have to worry about too much makeup for like here down on the face, unless you also do like the face reveal. Lord Cheer says, I have a morph suit that's half green, half white, and a scuffed mask that I'm eventually going to upgrade into a 3D print. Oh, that's really cool. Jude says, hot summer day, so. And Lord Cheer said, I met many Dangan VAs wearing it. That's so cool. Jude says, I hated that. The heat of the summer. Well, make sure that you're resting. If anyone is still here with the raid, if you're like, well, I just come for like Souls combat, I don't want to stick around for Ace Attorney, especially if you don't want to see spoilers for the first of the two great Ace Attorney Chronicles games. I understand if you got to take off. If you're just like are tired and you've been watching a long stream and you want to get going, I always love having people stick around, meeting new friends. So if you want to stay, please pull up a chair, assuming you aren't already. Or like if you're laying down, pull up the bed, floor, couch, whatever. And same with you, Jude, if you need to like take off and catch your breath or get a snack. But it's always awesome having you here. Lord Cheer says, I hate summer. I prefer summer over like the freezing cold of winter, but that's just me. And Jude says, I'll take a rest. Good ball! Jude says, I'll take a rest, thanks. Enjoy your rest, Jude. Lord Cheer says, GAA is so goated. Atlantic says, and if you stay long enough, you get to do this. Yes, the Seeker's command. Let me have a sip of water and we'll get back in. So we're finally going to get the name and get the whole Milverton thing added to the testimony or whatever. We'll present Susato's notes, and then that should be it for this cross-examination, right? We are, by the way, close to the 2.5 hour mark. So over on Twitch, now is a really good time to look out for raid suggestions for later around the 3 hour mark. But right now, I'm going to scroll back up to where I left off in chat, so I can do that because I was still about 15 minutes behind. But again, thank you for the raid. I really appreciate that. And let me take a look at YouTube as well, because I feel like I just spent a long time in Twitch, and I don't want to neglect YouTube. Let's see. Oh, there's little hearts on YouTube. Derma says, Bachelor is the opposite of Maiden. Yay! And I know that you guys say they use the emotes to get my attention, but I just feel like it makes me feel good about myself. Derma says, I get too much joy from people being unable to say / spell my name to ever change it. All demos should have hero being killed. So yes, for all games. Absolutely. Parentheses, I keep reading my own username anytime I see demo. I literally did just now. Okay, so this business was just a bit of fun, you say? And it was just yourselves and Mr. Graydon involved?
Well, yeah, that's it.
Milverton and Skulkin's Milk Run, was it?
Yeah, that's it.
And where did the Milverton part come from? Oh, I'm surprised that Ashley Graydon isn't trying to shut him up. Oh, wait, no, he did. He tried to shut him up. Enough of this. No, I'm going to read what he said. You can't stop me. You can't control me.
Oh, right. That's, I thought a clever clog like you would have worked that one out. That is -- Oh, that's is --
Hold it! Enough of this! How much longer are we expected to listen to this dribble?
Oh, yeah. Let me guess. You don't accept anything these two witnesses are saying. Ooh. I hope he has an embarrassing like first name as well. That it's not just Ashley Milverton. Hope it's like. I don't know why the first name that popped in my mind was Hephaestus, but that's actually a pretty boss name. But it's got to be something wimpy. Mervyn Milverton. Tell me, why is it that it was only at the moment the mention of the name Milverton that you decided to interject?
Because
Agam. Oh, it's Agam. It weren't the happiest homes that one came from.
Oh, what happened to your pear? The bite disappeared.
Yeah, his old man was struggling for money so much his wife walked out on.
Oh, so it's okay. So that's why thrice-fired Mason Milverton was single.
She took the name Graydon then, see?
Oh, so it's his mom's name. His pair keeps like disappearing and stuff.
But Ash will always be Milverton to us.
Milverton. So that used to be your surname, did it?
Oh, of course not. This is all bun.
I don't want to say the second syllable of that. That sounds like bad things that come out of the bun.
I've been a Graydon since I was born. Do you really think you can rely on the testimony of these two thieves?
You're a communications officer attached to the civil service. As such, your personal details will have been thoroughly checked at the time of your appointment.
Other hand there. No, this one. I don't know which one. There we go. There. I don't know. Pointing this way.
I get turned around. It would be a very simple matter indeed to subpoena those records, Mr. Graydon.
Oh!
Well, it would appear that Mr. and Mr. Skulkin's testimony has been reliable. For once. You were born Ashley Milverton, then. Is that correct?
Oh, very well, yes.
Let's see if the court record's changed yet. Court record. People. Oh, Graydon. Well, it still says Graydon on it. Okay, so let's see if it changes now. So Ashley Graydon was once Ashley Milverton. That information could change things and could turn out to be extremely important. Let's see if it's changed now. Change now. It still says Graydon. I don't know if it's... Oh, there we go! It updated! Ashley Graydon's personal profile has been updated in the court record. Oh, it still says Ashley Graydon. Whose last name was once Milverton years ago. Okay, so it's not gonna... The name won't change. He's a childhood friend of the Skulkin brothers. Oh, hang on, we got a pin message. Has appeared on Twitch. I'm guessing this is Queen Katie's name fact. Written by Queen Katie, pinned by Vera, said his Japanese name is Rubato. Rubato almost sounds like Roboto. Rubato... It's probably pronounced like Rubato or something like that. Trogray. Trogray is a play on Kuro, meaning black and gray. His Japanese given name Rubato is derived from Mirubatan. Mirubatan, a katakana conversion of Milverton. So his name in the Japanese version even was still Milverton. Wow. Okay, so Kuro, meaning black and gray. There we go. Mirubatan. Mirubatan. Thank you very much for the name fact. Okay, let's keep going here.
Ooh.
Oh, it's the same. Okay, so now that we've established that, all we need to do is go to where at some point he says he has no relation to thrice-fired Mason Milverton, and we'll be able to present Susato's notes, and everything's gonna be gravy from here on out. I think Quick said we got like one more cross-examination after. We got like a half hour. We can finish this game tonight. If I want to go long, I will not go long though. I have to be up for work very early tomorrow. Okay, music box. There we go. No relation to the man. Let's save just in case I'm dumb. And we're gonna present Susato's notes. Let me double check to make sure Susato's notes are where it said that thrice-fired Mason's real name is Milverton. I'm pretty sure that's where it was. So we got to present. Head over here, Susato's notes. Yeah, there, name Mason Milverton. So we even say Mason was his first name. So Mason Milverton. And we're going to present.
Objection.
Mr. Ashley Milverton. Tell me, why did you try to hide your former name from the court?
Because I haven't gone by that name for years. It means nothing to me.
No, I don't think that's the real explanation at all. Ha! The truth is, you had a reason to hide that name. Explain yourself, please, counsel. Stop trying to be so dramatic. Just say what was going on. I have here the notes from the omnibus case, my lord. And as we all know, the victim, the man who we now understand to have been negotiating with McGilded. Yes, Mr. Mason, the brickmaker? That's right, only Mason wasn't his surname at all. It was his given name. His full name was Mason Milverton. Milverton? Do you mean to say, oh, saints alive? Mr. Ashley Milverton? Is it not the case that the brickmaker, Mr. Mason Milverton, sorry, I said that wrong. Is it not the case that the brickmaker, Mr. Mason Milverton, was your father?
Oh, I don't.
As I believe I mentioned earlier, your family history will have been thoroughly checked when you join the civil service. And it really would take no time at all for the court to subpoena those records.
The truth is, you have been illegally acquiring highly confidential government information and selling it on to McGilded in collaboration with your father!
Oh, spinning. Oh.
How does he not get dizzy? The new facts and evidence unveiled by the cross-examination of this witness all come together to reveal the truth!
The truth, you say?
That you collaborated with your father, Mr. Mason Milverton, in illegal dealings with Mr. Magnus McGilded. By dint of this music box, you mean, counsel? But we're probably still gonna need to prove that that has government secrets on it or something like that. Yes, stealing information being sent in secret government communications and selling it on to McGilded. So is he taking it on behalf of Ireland? Did we ever establish if in the Japanese version he was also Irish? Was Ireland not part of the British Empire yet? Or was he just like selling it to other governments? Mr. Graydon concocted this elaborate scheme of using 2 music box discs to encode the information, as presumably a safety measure against the information falling into the wrong hands. Okay, so but the box wasn't taken, so I'm guessing that maybe he had another box like this, and the reason why it was moved is because it was opened up, and there was another disc in it that he had to take out, and he swiped that. Maybe? As presumably a safety measure against the information falling into the wrong hands. And a very effective one! I shouldn't have given the scheme any credence whatsoever!
But the deal with McGilded went sour, and the brickmaker met his end.
Yes, but before he was arrested, McGilded managed to temporarily dispose of the stolen disc at the pawnbroker. Then, having learned of the situation, you appeared at Windybanks 2 days ago. I mean, honestly, right now, Van Zeke seems very on board with us. Even if we can't get the other disc and, like, prove Ashley Milverton is the killer right this moment, this should at least, like, take the heat off of Gina, right? In an attempt to recover the 2 articles McGilded had placed in pawn there.
But that attempt failed.
One of the discs was seized by the police. By the way, Van Zeke, thank you for backing me up here. Appreciate you, bro. And the other you never found. So that same night, you enlisted the help of the Skulkin brothers and broke into the pawnbrokery. This time, determined to recover the second disc! Are you suggesting that the second disc was inside the music box?
Aye. We never knew nothing about that.
On the night that Mr. Windybank was killed... Oh yeah, we're showing this again. The box was moved. The intruder to the pawnbrokery touched one item and one item alone, the music box. It's rather ingeniously demonstrated using the 2 prints from the security camera, indeed. Is that the game devs patting themselves on the back? Oh, it was so ingenious. Oh, using a stereoscope. We are so smart at Capcom. So, the question that naturally begs answering is this. I can't read. I should check some chat. I can't read right now. Why was only that one article disturbed? I'm gonna read some chat. My brain is not working right now. We're still like 20 minutes away from the 3-hour mark. We got some time, but I gotta read some chat. Magpie says, I definitely spent loads of money at PAX West once or twice for research, because I worked in games law. Well, I mean, if you're buying the stuff, I'm assuming it's all like tax deductible and things. Queen Katie says, I never know how to spell officially. That one was thanks to a spell check. That one time I didn't notice the spell check in time for the TTTS. Says, okay, the barbecue Pringles is also good, but it breaks too easy for me. That's fair. I grab a chip and it crumbles and it's so many crumbs ASAP. Crystal says, Lurk, doing a short animation. Is this for Art Fight? I love animations. Are you gonna post on Discord, Crystal? Queen Katie says, Crystal! And there was the clip roulette. Sorry, it didn't work. Queen says, oh, Hamtaro, I need that in my life since I couldn't do my Hamtaro stream. Blame the storm gods. Chris said that shout out didn't play at all. I'm so sorry, Crystal. That's why it was my fault. Queen Katie says, I think it turned off earlier because a possible GAA spoiler from a raider. Crystal says, ooh, okay, noted. Oak says, add quote, butts are where the poo comes off. That can't be the first time I've said that, though. Because that's where the poo comes out. Queen K with the timestamp, 2 hours, 14 minutes, and 11 seconds. I'm almost a half hour behind now. Lord Shearer says, oh, excuse me, I actually skipped one. Magpie says, I wish we were still in that timeline. I'd love it if I could just move towns and change my whole identity. I mean, I think it's very I think most people have probably experienced that at least once or twice in life. The feeling of, wouldn't it be great to just have like a fresh start somewhere? Lord Shearer says, surname, question mark? And there was Jude's raid, so I can scroll down a little bit because we already read some stuff here. Scrolling down. Now we're talking about summer, and there we go. And Crystal says, come to the Philippines, the simmer shall burn you. Here's the thing, the Philippines sounds like a country that would be like great to visit until you told me how hot it is there. You're like living inside a volcano. Oh, the summer shall burn, not the simmer. And Magpie says, Logan heard about Milverton's milk run and decided Ashley was Ovaltine. Oh, no, if Ashley Milverton was Ovaltine, then I'd love Ashley Milverton. But instead, I don't. And Vera with the Unlurk, thank you so much for the Unlurk. Welcome back, Vera. Let me take a look at the YouTube chat. Dermo says, the Skulkins are perfect models for an artist. They just pose like that naturally. And then Dermo saying, quote, Domo arigato, Mr. Rubato. Says, Ireland was still a province at the time and didn't govern itself. The info wouldn't be useful. More likely France or Spain. Okay, so he probably was then selling it to other countries. Dermo says, the downside of the no identity tracking is you could be kidnapped, trafficked, or murdered, and people would know. That is true. I have wondered sometimes. Have anybody else ever wondered this? Like, what would happen if something like, heaven forbid, happened to yourself? Like if I like got murdered tomorrow or hospitalized and was gone, and I just didn't show up for a stream? I wonder how long it would take before people would be able to figure out. I mean, you guys, I guess, have an advantage because people in chat that could check on me physically, like Clam or Rukov or things like that. But I mean, assuming you couldn't get a hold of them, would you guys just like figure, oh, something probably happened, he's probably dead? Or would you just go like, man, he's being really late, I should message mean things to him on Discord? Okay. Let's keep playing. But yeah, less than 20 minutes left before the 3-hour mark. So again, if you got raid suggestions, let me know. The answer is obvious. Because it contained the second disc, which the intruder was desperate to retrieve. Since if it were to fall into the hands of the police, it would be proof of high treason. Well, Mr. Graydon, or should I say Mr. Milverton, do you deny that all of this actually began on that fateful night 2 months ago? Well, of course he's gonna deny it. You wouldn't want to admit to high treason. Oh. He'll just say, I deny it. I. Or is he gonna say, I'd like to see you prove it?
I refuse to accept any of this nonsense.
Ah! His arm! His wound is opening! That's his blood. Let's spray it. Let's spritz it and spray it and turn it green. Let's spray it and turn it green. Iris, get over there, spray his arm, turn it green. That's just what you do. You see someone bleeding, you stick your little kid on him and then spray him. Blood. sir? There appears to be blood seeping through the sleeve of your jacket.
What? Oh, this is white. Oh, it's going to be so hard to get this out. Oh. Oh.
2 nights ago, we know that 3 shots were fired at the scene of the crime in Windy Bank's pawnbrokery. Blam! 1 took the life of the pawnbroker himself.
Dang, Nash was right. He did so much dramatics. The wound reopened. Everybody apologized to Mr. Bear. He was right to be concerned.
He was! Honestly, like, he was being a very considerate friend. Other than all the crime he commits, he seems like a good guy. But I've said this before, I always like the idea of, like, and you see this sometimes in anime, the guys are criminals or crooks, especially like low-level ones, but they're still good guys. They're still like good friends to each other. He still cares about his buddy. Because I don't think it was even like, you gotta cover this up so they don't see the blood. It's like, he was just very concerned that the wound would open up. That'd be bad for healing. But thank you very much for the 10 bits, Queen Katie. So yes, everyone owes Nash an apology. 1 took the life of the pawnbroker himself. 1 struck the pouch around Mr. Sholmes's waist. And the final bullet struck the calendar on the wall of the shop, having first pierced the arm of one of the intruders. Mr. Graydon, Mr. Milverton, that wound on your arm that you seem to be trying to hide is a bullet wound, isn't it?
No, I'm really a Karua. Ashley is a girl's name. I'm a girl. It is that time of the month. You bleed out of your arm, I think.
Well, you've got your army, old China. Time to call it quits and croak, I reckon.
Oh. Don't acknowledge my presence there under any circumstances whatsoever.
Oh, it's a quote, so that's what he told them. So he's admitting to it. Finally.
Those were my terms, remember? And I paid you handsomely to comply. Clearly, I was a fool to think I could trust some common backslum thief.
I don't insult Nash and Ringo. They're wonderful.
Fine, I admit it. I'm a murderer. I committed high treason. I'm just gonna spin out of here. You'll never find me. I'll change my name again. I was there in Windy Banks that night. I paid this pair 10 guineas to accompany me. And as you have noticed, I sustained an injury in the course of my adventures. Not crimes, adventures.
Hubbub, hubbub, hubbub. Are adventures criminal?
Oh, but that is all. I admit to nothing more. Stealing government secrets, negotiating with Mr. McGilded. Oh, I'm sure I recall nothing of the sort.
He's not gonna go down without a fight. Not until I can show hard evidence, I suppose. Nevertheless, the defense has now established a crucial fact. Which is... Oh, you're not paying attention? You were helping me a minute ago. Well, we know that 1 bullet was fired from each of the 2 firearms we have in evidence. So we need to find the other gun. Let me save again, by the way. I think it's been a little while since I've done that. Good, just to keep up with that. And I'll read a couple comments in the chat, because I'm still a little bit behind. We got like 12 minutes. 11 and a half minutes till the 3-hour mark. So once again, one more call for raid suggestions. The bullet from the Skulkin Brothers gun hit the pouch around Mr. Sholmes' waist. Yeah, but hang on, Renos. I was passing my mouse in front of the game. You shouldn't skip ahead. Queen Katie said, welcome back, Vera. Vera says, I'm back. There was the pin name fact. Queen says, with that, all of the name facts for the first game is done, I think. Was there's like nothing else for like Waga High, some secret we're gonna find coming up soon beyond the what you talked about with it being a hoity-toity first-person pronoun. Queen says, I'm most excited for game 2 though. They actually get more creative there. And so I'm guessing then that the town crier guy and the guy with the big chin were just teases for the next game, because they have not come to play at all in this trial. Lord Shearer says, quote, finish this game, lol. Magpie says, man, asking how Ireland fits into UK is just asking for a long history lesson. Lord Shearer says, imagine having a functional brain. Crystal says, it's 28 Celsius right now, so it's not that hot. Hang on, I need to look what that is. Hang on. So let's do Celsius to Fahrenheit conversion. So 28. Oh, it's 82. Okay, that is like I think getting a little uncomfortable, but it's not like super super hot. That's the type of thing like I wouldn't want to stay in that too long, but it's uncomfortable, but it's not like, oh my gosh, I'm dying type of heat. So okay, good. Vera says 38 Celsius, 100 Fahrenheit over here. It got close to that the other day. I think when I was driving around, it was like 97 according to the thermostat in my car. We get over 100 here pretty frequently during the summertime, so we get there. And Vera says, it's 7 a.m. Okay, that is different then. I don't think it's usually 100 at 7 a.m. here. Oh boy, what's the high gonna be? Crystal says, oof, Vera with a smile. Lord Shearer says, I have community members that have direct contact me, so if I vanish, they would have a way to check, and that's nice. As I said, I have a couple that are like that, but like Clam doesn't check in as often these days, which is understandable. He just had his second kid a while ago. He's got family stuff. Rukov will usually pop in every stream, or if not every stream, most streams. But if he misses one, it's not like a huge deal. But yeah, like I just like want to know what you guys would do. Like, suppose you couldn't contact Rukov or Clam. Crystal says, I mean, it is rainy season in the Philippines right now. Wait, it is in July? On a serious note, do not die of heat, Vera. Yes, please, Vera, don't. Lord Shearer says, my mom was actually born in the Philippines. Oh, wow, that's cool. Magpie says, one time I feared a friend was hurt, and so I and a friend used our moderate detective skills to send them food to make sure they were okay. They were okay. Anyway, point is, friends will find a way to make sure you're okay. That is important. I want to just emphasize, like, in all seriousness, all joking aside, like, and I'm being very serious here. If that happens, do check in on your friends. For those who don't recall, there was a thing that happened with a friend of mine. It was about a year or two ago. I think about 2 years at this point. I'd have to check the date, but I try not to think about it. Where a really good, very close friend of mine passed away. He just suddenly wasn't being heard from, and his family got worried, and we were all trying to contact him, and yeah, it was not good. So do check on your friends. Crystal with a face. Lord Shearer said more specifically on a naval base in the Philippines. I don't remember if I said it before, but fun fact, if you rewatch the animated cutscene where Sholmes gets shot, his pouch completely intact after he is shot, which contradicts the evidence. Oh, because like Chad was saying before, that animated cutscene showed something, and I assumed it was the pouch. So the pouch is intact, but it's like all like the strap is like all loose and it's hanging there. I'm assuming that is the thing that I was supposed to see, which I failed to. I just barely rewatched the VOD when I was like that showed when I was rewatching that scene trying to pick it out, and I missed that. I am doing like really poorly in this game for guessing things, other than all blondes are related somehow being true. Over on YouTube, Derma says, I don't know if I would, if I just to dead immediately, but it would be concerning. It's like a way less cool version of the Godot reveal. Well, it's because, well, everything about Godot was cool. He like, his attitude was cool. That cool visor thing he had was cool. Everything was so cool about Godot. Okay, let's keep going here a little bit, because we still got some time. So once again, last call for raid suggestions on Twitch. We got less than 10 minutes until the 3-hour mark. The bullet from the Skulkin Brothers gun hit the pouch around Mr. Sholmes' waist. And the bullet from Mr. Windybank's gun clearly must have been the one that caught Mr. Graydon in the arm. Indeed it must. We can rule out the possibility that the man shot himself. So then where's the gun that shot Windybank? Milverton probably still has that. And that leads us to only one conclusion. Mr. Windybank was shot by a third gun, which, and if you remember, Milverton was brandishing a gun earlier in that day in the shop, which can only have been fired by the third intruder. Goodness! That's right, Mr. Graydon. So again, this by itself should be enough to exonerate Gina, because she was holding Windybank's gun. And if Windybank is logically the one that shot Milverton, then she couldn't be the one who shot Windybank. So honestly, our job here is done. We should just be able to turn over the reins to Van Ziek. Say, okay, Van Ziek, now you have at Milverton. That's right, Mr. Milverton.
Oh.
Ha! The only person who could possibly have shot Mr. Wittybank that night is you! Why is there not exciting music playing? When I do a dramatic point, exciting music plays, everyone's like, oh man, he's so right. Did I do something stupid? I don't know why there's no music. There should be music. Okay, this can't be his breakdown yet, right?
You little upstart! You made a grave mistake when you summoned me here.
What? What is that supposed to mean? Crap. Oh, crap. Did anyone check to see if he has a gun? Oh, he's gonna start shooting people. He's gonna pull out a gun and shoot me.
Yes, as you rightly say, I was there at the pawnbroker's.
Oh, he's still got his cane. Does he have like a flamethrower in the cane? Does he have a flamethrower cane?
I did my best to hide the fact naturally. I had no intention of ruining the distinguished career I'd built for myself at the communications station. But did the thought never cross your mind? Did you never consider the possibility?
What do you mean? What thought? What possibility? Be more specific.
The possibility that if I was there at the scene, I may have witnessed the crucial moment.
Are you going to say Gina stole your gun? That Gina shot with Winnie Bang and you had your own gun and you're like, oh, oops, my arm. What?
You see... Oh, this makes me a key witness in this case, and I have my hands firmly around the neck of your client. I can just make up lies.
So that'll be the final cross-examination. He's going to have something that he's going to use to try and accuse Gina of the crime in a last-ditch effort to try and keep himself not being killed, right? Well, executed. Executed is illegal killing. Let me read some more in the chat. Let's see. Oh, Krista with some raid suggestion. Oh, hang on. I got to click out of the game before I tap anything here. Otherwise, it may just like try and advance without me. Crystal with some raid suggestions. Thank you very much, Crystal. I will copy these over into my text file right now. So we'll check these out in a little bit. I always appreciate it. You're always such a great MVP with raid suggestions. Thank you very much, Crystal. Thank you. Copying over. Crystal says, remember, Logan, the humidity is still there. Oh, that is true. Because here's the thing. It gets very hot where I live, but it's also a desert. And so at least we don't have that. So that's a very good point. I would imagine the Philippines, just because like it's such close proximity to the ocean, is probably like crazy humid there, right? You probably told us about the humidity, but I imagine it's a lot. Vera said, oof, it's not humid this year. Thank goodness. Well, Vero, is it normally humid where you are? I was assuming that, without saying where you are, I was assuming that that's more desert-like. Oh, and Krista with a couple more rate suggestions. Okay, thank you very much. Hang on, I got a couple more to copy over.
I feel like if you heard the witness say I have my hands firmly around the neck of your client, I would assume they're about to lie as hard as a sailor swears.
Well, yes, not only that. Oh, and by the way, Crystal, one of those two rate suggestions that you gave, I think is showing up as, I think typoed, misspelled or something. It's the one that starts with the P, that's something. But yes, but we have seen this all the time in Ace Attorney, where you'll have like a witness or someone like that who will be like threatening another witness, threatening someone else. It's like, you know, if you start saying stuff, you know, something might happen to your family and you don't want that. And the judge is like, I see no problem with this. They just ignore that. Like in any normal thing in a normal universe, you see that happening. It's like, oh, okay, a jury. Or even in normal Ace Attorney games where you don't have a jury, you just have a judge. It's like, oh, well, I obviously can't trust this. You're obviously threatening people. And in this case, yeah, he's threatening to lie. It's so obvious. So I agree. Queen Katie, thank you for the 10 bits. Crystal says, at least not humid for ya. Lord Cheer says, you don't need to see it. It's just a flub from the dev team. Queen Katie says, oh, don't worry, Logan. You'll be so mad when you find out the thing me and Magpie have been talking about in the cutscene. There's something else in the cutscene? So I just want to verify. There's something else, so it's not just the pouch. There is something else in that cutscene. Chris said, Logan, you cannot die until we, the whole chat, dies first. Oh, then I'll be sad if you guys die. Queen Katie says, in fact, I feel like you're going to figure it out soon-ish. in the next 2 streams, maybe. Honestly, it feels like we might finish this game next stream, but I could be wrong. Lord Cheer says, I wonder what detail you mean. Just because there's another gun doesn't mean the one that Gina had isn't the murder weapon. That is true. And I guess we can't use rifling marks, so that's probably what he's going to argue, is that she used it to shoot him. But then... And then either he shot himself, or maybe that he was the one who shot Herlock, and he was like still there and he didn't see him, and then the Skulkin brothers accidentally shot him. Who knows? It's gonna be some like very lame excuse. Here's the only thing that I'll be frustrated with, okay? Is obviously he's gonna try and come up with something in order to defend himself. But at this point, there's no way that Van Zieks should just blindly believe whatever he says. Van Zieks is totally on board with what happened, and he's not a dumb guy. And I always hate it when the prosecutors are always like, oh, okay, we gotta believe who this guy is. I guess it is somehow inexplicably still the accused. Crystal says it's 28 Celsius, means it feels like it's 35? That's a lot more. I think it's 95 Fahrenheit. Lord Cheer says the pouch is a side detail. Magpie says it is not Sholmes's pouch. Quita said literally the most minor yet glaring thing once you notice it. I gotta look back again. Because what I was trying to do is that Susato had a little, like, satchel with her. She also had very large shoes. Like, if you go back and watch it, she was wearing shoes that were gigantic. The other thing I tried to say is there, and we even see this in the photo, there's like burn marks around Winnie Bank's back, which made me think it was like a point blank type of a shooting, like right up next to him. Let's see. Vera says, I doubt we're finishing next time. I'm not gonna lie. Wow. Crystal says there's something else in the cutscene, and Katie has been ranting about it in spoiler chat. Magpie says Logan may need a potato. I sure did, because it's infuriating. Quita says, hey now, that was something else, but you're not wrong. Crystal says, oh, here's a correct raid suggestion. Okay, so there's the correct spelling, so I will add this to the list as well. I am like, I thought I scoured every frame of that, and I'm kind of surprised that it's got to be something else that I haven't noticed then. I will look again and try and see if I can find something. Lord Shiro says Van Zieks just rolls with the punches. If he still does go along with this, I will try to headcanon it as him testing us and to see if we've figured it out. Lord Shiro says, don't look back until you beat the case, then rewatch it and see if you can figure out the detail. Oh, so it's not going to be something that they're going to tell you is in there. I still kind of want to check. I'll probably check again, but then do that because I don't think I'll find it. I don't know if I can find anything more. Let me check over on YouTube chat again real quick. Oh, Derma says I need to go by. Thank you, Derma, for being here. Sorry they had to leave apparently very abruptly, but I really appreciate you. Have a good rest of your day, because I guess it was morning there. Thank you, Derma, for being here. Queen Katie says lots of chonk I did say. Okay. Well, I guess it'll just depend on how quickly, because there are a lot of unresolved threads, but it also sounds like maybe a lot of these will just be picked up in the next game, because we still don't know who or how the omnibus that killed McGilded was set on fire. Like who did that and how. The game is obviously trying to make you suspect Van Zieks, but I still suspect Strongheart. So maybe that's going to be a next game thing. We don't know about stuff with the Crystal Tower, and I'm assuming, though, that the secret thing is the thing that Gregson's been talking about, so at least that'll be resolved. I don't know. Vera said, thank you for the very dramatic wound opening stream. Vex says, I think I might know, but to be honest, if it is what I thought, it's pretty bad. Crystal says, thank you for the very blood comes back on the arm when you're on that time of the month stream. Lord Chair said, to be honest, Logan, I played this game like 4+ times and I didn't know the detail was there until Katie told me in whispers. Queen said, thank you for the very Nash was right stream. Crystal says, I miss Kazuma. And Lord Shiro says, same, at 3 hours, 3 minutes and 14 seconds, I got up to chat for the first time of the night on Twitch. Thank you, Toilet Duck. Yes, I will save. Had I not already saved? I will save. I probably didn't. I don't know if I did or not, but yes, thank you, Toilet Duck. I am saving so much right now. So, a couple things I need to do now that I did catch up to chat is, first of all, I need to, for the third time tonight, because it's 3 hours, we'll do about it once an hour, post our link tree into the chat, and I'll cross-post it over to YouTube. So if anyone is lurking, feel free to check it out. That has all of our social media, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, all that stuff. check it out or ignore it. It is entirely up to you. It's just, it is there. I just want to make sure that I'm putting that out there as frequently as possible. Also, I want to give you our schedule. We stream Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Sundays. So now this is very important though. So tomorrow I'm going to be posting the schedule, but next week I do have an acting gig, and they're supposed to tell me what day. It's supposed to be either Tuesday or Wednesday, but they still have not told me what day it's going to be on. So if it is Tuesday, depending on what time of day, I'll probably find out tomorrow, we may have to cancel Tuesday's stream. So I can't say for certain that Tuesday will be Deltarune, so make sure to check when the schedule is posted tomorrow. But I'm hoping it'll either be Wednesday or early in the day on Tuesday. And if so, then Tuesday will be Deltarune Chapter 5. And Thursday, we're going to pick up where we are leaving off here. So I will, again, hopefully have a confirmation for that tomorrow. And I will post on the schedule all about that, and we shall see. But so that's the main thing you need to know about the schedule. We got a bunch of raid suggestions. I'm picking the one here who has the fewest number of viewers. And we're going to initiate a raid. Someone who's doing some art. Looks like sequential art, which is very cool. And here, it looks like Vera already did it, but I'll do this again just so it'll make it easier for me to copy it over. Here's our raid message, so you can copy that over to your clipboard if you are going to join in the raid. And let's see, Vex says, thank you for the very Milverton stream. I just want to keep saying it like that every time. Lord Chair says, Cosmo was done dirty. He was building to my #1 character until chapter 2, because he had to be the Mia Fey, apparently. But at least we don't have, like, someone who's going to be channeling him. Which would be especially disturbing, because every time Mia was channeled, suddenly boobas got big. I'm going to assume that Cosm was also very well endowed, but like in the male way. And so anytime someone like would channel his spirit, just like a huge, just downstairs, right there, poking out eyeballs and things. It's your own fault for looking down there, though. That's why your eye got poked out. Lord Chair says, acting, indeed, it is. It's like a commercial thing. Not anything that you guys will probably see. It's like a marketing company, so it's probably it's geared toward other businesses and things. Chris says, good luck on the gig. Thank you. It looks like it'll be a fun shoot. Unfortunately, they also informed me a little while ago that it's going to pay half of what they originally thought it was going to pay. So it's like, I thought I was going to be able to go to TFCon in Florida in October, and now I probably won't. I don't know. Vera says, you just get the hair aura. That's, well, the well-endowed part. Oh, yeah, just the hair, and the headband appears. Anyway, the raid's going to start. I love and appreciate you all. Thank you for being here. Keep an eye on the schedule. See you hopefully on Tuesday, if not that Thursday. Enjoy the raid. Bye, everybody. Bye. Bye, 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 bye. All right, and Twitch has officially rated out, so it's just me and YouTube. Dermo has already taken off, but thank you again if you happen to go back and check the VOD, Dermo. Thank you for being here. Thank you to anyone who might have been here earlier on YouTube or lurking there. I love and appreciate all of you on YouTube. I'm sorry that I still don't know a good way to do raids on YouTube, but you guys are awesome as well. Thank you for always being here. And to everyone on YouTube and everyone watching the VOD in the future, good night as well.